Oh, it's a tail.
And just like that,
Cyrus,
the
I
CR
think you're
increased.
too smart. Yeah, Cyrus, I think you're too smart in character to not get that.
Oh, what do you feel like fighting tonight? I feel like something that will TPK.
My insecurities.
Dracula?
All right, insecurities and Dracula it
Belmont.
is.
An insecure Dracula. We just have to
My
comfort
fangs aren't long enough. Oh.
Oh, but the vampire ladies will never want me.
Oh, I'll never have a son named Alucard now.
Let's see. Let's do
Is that
that.
vampire Jesus?
I'll see myself.
All right, I've got
Because if the
something set up.
doors, you missed the door, Fenrir. It's actually down the left 2 doors.
Mhm.
You
I see.
actually just walked into the bathroom right there.
You know, I was thinking there was too many women in this area.
Ugh, that was a terrible pun. All right. Who all are we missing? We are missing Tren
I can't
and
tell if they're
Cameron.
still hungover or just annoyed with me.
Me?
Yeah,
I'm not hungover. I haven't been hungover at all today.
so
Mhm.
you're annoyed with me. Got it.
No, I just took a shit that destroyed my stomach, but that's about it.
TMI, boys. TMI.
Hey, you wanted to put that on me? I'm gonna make sure it's very clear what the problem is.
Okay, my bad.
Just gotta be direct about things.
Mhm. Oh man. No worries. So it turns out they made 5 Starship Trooper movies.
Oh.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that when you posted that. It's like
I
I didn't even know about
Watch it all.
the third one.
I mean, I knew about the third one. I have the first 3 in a collection box. Even to my family's dismay, because I love watching it. Especially at family gatherings, it's great to toss on in the background. But yeah, so we got 5 movie nights planned. It's gonna be a fun time. Listen, if we're gonna see the story, we're gonna see it through, alright? We gotta know what happens. I haven't seen the 5th one. I think I've seen the 4th. So, you're just stuck with it. Man.
Except making it to movie night is not required.
No, that's correct. You are not required at movie night. It's
Yes,
just
Captain,
more for
we
us
are
to hang out.
forcing you to watch movies. You have to social. Family movie night, you have to come with the family. You have to watch it. Doesn't matter if it makes you more miserable. You got to do it. This is gonna keep our crumbling family unit together. Ha ha.
Okay, but here's the thing. I don't like movies though. They bore me. And the crowd goes out.
Well, the projected potential storyline's just been kind of like a sad movie, so I don't know what you want from me.
Well, it's a movie I can interact with. There's a difference.
No, trust me, Starship Troopers you can interact. It's 3,000.
But it's
But I can hear you good.
yeah, fuck me.
My unlubed foot up
Give me like
here. It won't save you. Boy pain. There's very
Thor. Acknowledging his presence.
hello mouth.
Cameron. Oh man, damn.
What you dying over there about?
I like
Ah,
Cameron.
nothing.
Cameron, do you realize you're
Nothing.
muted? Probably not. Did I mute him?
Maybe.
No, it wasn't me. Okay. Oh man, perfect time to check my work email. So Tren's girlfriend's fucking weird. Just to put out that for those who haven't met them.
Well, she wanted to be with Trent. What did you expect?
That's, you know what? You got a fair point there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Captain, I got something for you.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Some things will never die.
Thanks, Cyrus.
You're welcome.
I told you he's been extra sarcastic and sassy this week. I'm just glad I'm not the target of it for once.
Oh, that's great. That is amazing. All right, let's read that later.
Air might have died, but that will never die.
I died. Inside.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Windows wants to update your bullshit because, dear Christ.
Nope, that was my work computer letting me know that I have an email. Please, you're receiving this email because an invoice has been prepared for your project is available for review. What fucking project is it? God damn it! Why do they never tell me?
Hello there.
There-
What fucking email is this?
Well, it's like, hey,
Sincerely,
we've got money for you,
from
but
the
we're not gonna tell you which project it's on. It's like, okay, you know, I'm running like 2 projects right now. Can we figure out which one this has to do with? Okay, so all this has been deleted, which I don't really care about. Let me go ahead and delete all this. Nothing like working on a weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the problem with working from home, kids. Don't ever do it. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I hit my like once every 2 month on call week, which is this weekend through Thursday.
Fair enough. Yep, it's just basically I get on, I look through all my emails, like, is there anything I need to check or double check for then? Alright, so I can highlight that. I gotta go through and highlight shit, like, you know. Okay. Alright, now I can shut that down. Hopefully on Monday, I'll get lucky and I won't have anything to do. That's my
It's
hope.
hopeful.
It's hopeful. It's not likely, but it's hopeful. Oh man. All right, yeah, we will wait for Trend to show up just so that way we can start. But we got 15 minutes, so you guys have a few minutes before or during pre-show if you need to plan anything out.
Okay, guys. The tactic is don't die.
Bloody brilliant.
Great idea.
Yeah. Yeah, see, +5 intelligence, I got +20.
Hmm. Why did we never think of that before?
Because you know, when I was playing Zaya, that's
Yeah.
the wrong person to play to come up with good ideas. So
Oh, okay.
Tikva's got her life a bit more together, so it reflects.
Just had to die.
She just
Does
had to
she?
die to
She,
get her
she
life.
married Gaul.
Well, it's bold of you to assume that was her idea or her choice.
Bro.
Listen, people around her could still be stupid.
Cameron, whatever you just said, you lagged out like no other.
I am glad I was in an elevator.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna annoy the neighbors by going down to the community room to play D&D and get loud.
Oh god, that's great.
Passive aggressiveness at its finest.
Okay.
So if Mouth or
Plus, this
ever
will
just
prevent
suddenly
me
goes
from.
quiet or cuts out, we know that they came to beat him up.
Oh please! Most of these people in here are retirees, so they couldn't take me if they wanted to. Or they're disabled in some other fashion. Those ones might be able to beat me with their wheelchairs.
Here's some candy for you, Sonny.
Oh man.
I'll be nice though and shut the door. That way they don't go off on me as much. I hope I don't echo too badly.
Only ever so slightly.
It's okay. I'll just have to talk a little softer. Be whispering right in your guys' ears. Hello.
You're not Zen anymore, Cameron. You need to stop.
I mean, do I really?
Yes.
I don't think so. How to get my character sheet up?
I'm just nope, not gonna even bother. Walking Dead is still going
sec.
on. I'm shocked.
Walking Dead is gonna be like Pokemon. It's gonna go on forever.
That's fair.
I mean, once Royce, when I'm on my deathbed, I'm still gonna be the one that's sitting there being like, I know every Pokemon, and there's gonna be about 10,000.
That's it's
I
funny
will
because
forget everything else.
you still don't play Pokemon Go worth a damn.
Can I make a point on that? I haven't had time, and I haven't left the house as much.
Sounds like a you problem.
Sir, sent you stickers, and I'll be getting back into Pokemon Go pretty heavily when it can actually integrate with Pokemon Home,
Oh,
so that I can send Pokemon I catch in Pokemon Go to Pokemon Sword,
I'm good.
and vice versa, which means that I'll be able to finally send in so many weird Pokemon.
And wait, when did you send me stickers?
I sent stickers.
Oh,
If you didn't open that gift that had them, that's your fault.
what gift?
See? Yeah, I get on there more than you think.
I mean, you haven't sent me shit.
See, these are lies.
I can legit prove the last time you were online, you asshole.
It'll say today.
2+ days, actually. So, no. Fel's been sending me shit.
Plus, like, when I don't have data like I didn't have for the last month, for the last, well, less than a month, last week, I can't get on there worth a damn.
Get
So
a job and get unlimited data.
I have unlimited data. When I run out of my 4G data, it turns into slow speed. Because my freaking company's changing everything up. Because my company was Boost, which was owned by Sprint, which is now bought out by T-Mobile. So it's turned into a big kerfuffle thing.
Contact your provider.
The entire reason why it's slowing down is because now they're providing it through Dish, so they can't use all the Sprint towers that are around here.
No, that's because Sprint doesn't exist anymore.
You can't go on my. Yeah, it's T-Mobile. They should have just been like, okay, we'll sell it to T-Mobile too. This is.
I don't know if they actually were bought up technically. As far as Boost goes, I don't know if they just bought Sprint on its own.
They did. Sprint on its own, so that's why Boost is no longer a part of Sprint.
Fair enough.
The original owner stepped in and bought it back, and their headquarters is now back in Australia.
So they're in the down under.
Where internet speeds like I have right now, and when I run out of data, are actually fast.
Fair enough. Oh, by the way, when you guys all died tonight, you can blame Jacob.
Can we just sacrifice his character?
Nope, he gave me a great idea.
He's definitely like can't yell at him.
Cyrus, are you ready
Why
for
do I still have
option
Milo
2?
as my freaking buddy?
Or challenge number 2? Are you excited for this? First it was a beholder,
Sure.
then it was a
There we go, I
tabaxi.
started that research. Oh, you did not give him the idea to have Dibus wipe us out, did you?
I like that idea more.
Captain's muted. He can't respond. He can't even hear you.
to make characters that have night that I try to be a good person. You know what? The dark and brooding backstory that no one will know, not even him.
Well, you should be
The
happy
DM
about
or the
this.
character?
Oh gods, we don't need that answer. You should be happy about this. I have wrapped up my dice and boxed them up, so I won't have player killer dice for the next 2 sessions. So, and I don't remember which box they're in, so that's the problem.
See, that's why I already have my dice either in my dice bag or right now they're in the cigar box, so that when we do find a place to move to, they're already packed up.
Wouldn't help, because I mean, the fact that my stuff's in a box somewhere, packed up, ready to go. I've got 2 more weeks, so till I'll see them again, which is great. It's fantastic. It's amazing.
Oh, I am sending you an oversized D20
Okay.
once you get to your new place. It'll be fun.
I'm moving the
Maybe they'll
23rd of
actually wanna kill us.
October.
I'll mail it to a week before that. That way it gets there probably about a week after you get in there. So it'll just be another box for you to have to deal with.
Yeah, well, I'm also ordering stuff off Amazon to get new furniture. Can't wait to put a couch together. Never ordered a couch on Amazon. I'm very curious on how that's gonna work.
IKEA
If it's
time.
anything like ordering a bed frame off Amazon, you're fucked.
Probably.
Oh boy.
It'll make it interesting.
You really want to make it interesting? Go get IKEA and then leave the instructions in a folder and never open them.
I
Just
mean,
put it together how you think it goes.
couches aren't
That's
hard to put
interesting.
together.
You've never seen an IKEA couch.
Well, I never needed to buy cheap furniture.
I mean, IKEA could fill up your entire apartment with under $100,
Mm-hmm.
at least furniture-wise.
And at my weight, it will be firewood within a week.
Yep, like I said, weekly.
Mm-hmm. No, thank you.
Okay, D&D Beyond does not want to load for me tonight. This is not good. Let's try closing out Chrome entirely, reopening it.
There we go. And as the dog barks in the background. Jesus. I am tired today. Should we just skip D&D?
If
If
you're
we
not
answer
feeling
yes, you're gonna be mad at
up
us. If we
to
answer
it.
no, you're gonna be mad at us. I feel a trap. It's a trap. Don't answer.
What'd
If
you
you do
say?
not feel well enough to DM, then that's fine.
I mean, I'm gonna kill you guys whether I feel well or not. That's just how D&D goes.
Well, the longer we wait, the more time you have to plot, so.
No. Honestly, you're
And
better
plan
off
around
hoping
your
I
stu-
forget what I was planning.
Alright,
Well,
guys.
yeah, and we can also plot for
what's
other
the
things.
player verdict? Captain is still deafened.
Captain's vote falls to Cyrus. Cyrus, you get 2 votes. You're the captain now.
What? Hey! What? Tikva's the one who's technically in
Tikva's no longer the
charge
leader.
of Fenrir. I don't say.
Tikva's no longer the leader.
Well, yeah, that's been undecided,
Fenrir's
but
the
she's the
group-
queen.
Fenrir's the group mascot.
Pardon?
Because Fenrir's the group mascot because we lost Chester, my boy.
Cyrus is the one that could turn into a werewolf, and you're saying Fenrir's the mascot?
Well, yeah, we have to have someone with a whip be the mascot. That way people are afraid to mess with us.
I don't think that's the whip's what you want to be known for.
I mean,
I'm pretty well known for my
Zaya
whips.
was known for. Let's also not forget, Zaya's well known for sleeping with a goat.
I'm not Zaya anymore.
No, Tikva is well known for
wonder
getting
if-
her entire party killed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
Zaya was
really
better
not
at
leader
at somehow
material.
surviving what would be TPKs, but Tifa, on the other hand,
Zaya
uh,
just has dumb luck.
they
Tikva
both
is
have
stuck
bad
on her
luck.
own.
Well, now she's got, a husband who's probably more competent than all of us. 'Cause he's just
Welcome
higher level
back.
than all of
I
us.
wouldn't call that competence. I'd call it he's a freaking jester.
What's the vote, Fenrir?
Do we skip
what's up?
because DM's feeling tired?
No.
You
It's a
apparently gave
trap,
him
I
an
feel
idea
like it.
to kill us, so
I did
If
not
we
give
die,
him
we all
any
have to come to
idea.
your house and kick your ass.
I believe you gave him a mob idea when he asked for it, which was your first mistake
Your second
of
mistake
tonight.
was threatening him with a whip. Because you should never threaten the DM with a good time that you cannot follow through with.
He hasn't threatened me with a
I did
whip.
not threaten him with the whip.
I heard
Never
it.
said I
No,
could.
he called me fat
'Cause
at
you
one
said you-
point, but he doesn't threaten me with his
Oh
whip
my
yet.
God, I did not call him
Well, no, you threatened to come down and go down to his house and I'm gonna put your unlubed foot up his ass.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
And
no,
he
that's
said, "Let me
not
get
why
a whip ready."
I was offering him the whip. It wasn't a fucking
Again,
threat.
you don't threaten the DM with a
Listen,
good time. that you
Jacob
can't
is
follow
very
through
lonely these days and needs someone.
on.
The
Jacob,
girl.
you need to see a therapist. I can recommend a few.
I can
Oh,
recommend
God.
a few
Been
brothels.
seeing one.
They're only
Goblin
goblin
ones?
brothels. Be careful.
Or no, he's already been to the Tabaxi ones, and there were incidents there.
Hmm. You okay, Jacob?
I just I need D&D so I have some fucking thing good going on this week.
Oh, do you want to tell me about what happened?
Life in general is just crappy lately.
Relationship or work?
No real. Just stressed about a million and one things.
Like.
You're on stream right now. No, thank you.
What do you mean? This is just like the. Well, I like the
I'm
thing I
back.
decided to put in during that entire thing.
There we go. He's busy.
Looks like it's time for another therapy session.
Fuck.
Oh man. I don't even want to know. I don't want to know. Let me see. Oh, okay. That makes more sense now. You going to join or what?
Could use the healer if we're gonna have combat.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm holding off. I'm being nice. Because you're gonna want this healer for what I have planned.
I was kidding about Dracula, by the way. That's a fucking like CR50 bullshit.
The DM does not show. That's the problem.
I
You need to
know how
learn
to
the
beat the count. We just gotta put multiple of the same thing in front of him and tell him to count them. It'll work. One dead player.
one
Don't
stupid
give him
idea,
ideas.
2 stupid idea, 3 stupid idea. You've had so many stupid ideas.
Reagan's dead. No.
That wasn't a Bregan accent.
That's not
If you
close.
can't tell the difference, then I'm offended.
I can't.
Oh my god.
Sesame Street, people. Sesame Street.
We knew the difference.
No one cared. Tonight's gonna be fun for me. It's only 10,000 XP if you survive.
Still wouldn't level me. It's a sad thing.
My sheet won't even load today. That's great. See if I can't go dig through my history to find it.
Yeah, probably not a bad idea. Oh yeah, let me also send that over real quick.
Why is D&D Beyond saying I don't have any characters at all?
Are you logged in?
I was about to say, are
Yes,
you
I'm
signed
logged
in?
in.
I mean, your
Ah,
character's
Yes,
there.
I'm
not-
signed in.
Yeah, I'm not having any issues
Neither
on
am I.
my end.
Nope, neither am I.
I guess I sign out and try signing back in. Maybe that will fix the problem.
Or turning it off and turning it on again.
Yes, turn it off and turn it back on again. Hi, DM, how's it going? I said, hi, DM, how's it going?
I'm confused.
You and I made the same joke, and so I was just like,
Oh,
okay.
okay. Gotcha.
One
Delay.
of you owes the other a Coke.
Shut up. No.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna say if Trent's not here by 3:30, we will skip today's session, which is in 22 minutes. I think that's fair.
I will be right back. I'm going to try restarting my phone.
So we know we need an extra person. It's good information.
Yeah, I would recommend.
I was just gonna do some kingdom upkeep, but okay. Battle, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Cyrus, you've been brooding in the corner. Say something. Let us know you're live.
Something.
Okay. He's his normal self.
Are you contemplating whether you wish to die or not, Cyrus?
No, just scanning through my Facebook. Haven't looked at it yet today.
That's how you know you're old when you're on Facebook more all day.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, season 3 of Witcher is definitely probably coming, and they haven't even had season 2 yet.
Yeah, I was like, I don't remember season 2. Wait, what? When did that happen? Oh man. I'm looking through my movies to see if there's anything I want to watch. Yeah, man. Spiders working to catch humans. Oh, well, there goes Cameron.
Oh.
I think because he's
D&D Beyond got him. They
Yep.
took his kneecaps and his liver.
Mm-hmm.
It's only a matter of time.
D&D Beyond will come to get us all. I guess we're down 2 of our technical healers.
Uh-huh.
That's great.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Especially
not
with what I
like
had
that's
planned.
what, killed the Hellcard company, not having a healer. So this is definitely not what our downfall was at all.
Mm-hmm. Oh, have you looked at the title?
No, I don't usually get on Twitch because it echoes and lags, but let me check it out. Time for a second war? Oh boy.
Always check my titles, because that usually means I'm planning something.
Is it with the Tabaxi? Or just a war against ourselves?
You're gonna find out. Joel. What to do, what to do. As the chat goes quiet.
I was finishing the whip. The whip is now done.
Kinky. So did you make this for a reason?
Because, yeah, I wanted to see if I could make a longer whip because my last one was only 8 feet long.
So who are you trying to beat from farther than 8 feet away?
No one.
Inner
I
demons.
felt that I would have a better time if it were.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pictures of said whip.
Correct.
No, Cyrus already made the first whip.
Saying your whip is too short.
Mic check.
Oh, is it back to Monster Hunter World, Cyrus, where he was having sword problems? Now it's whip issues. You should play Monster Hunter World and let us narrate again, Captain.
Eventually.
God damn it. God damn it. I'm gonna go back to playing on my phone where I don't have to deal with this. Nope.
But our narration's so good.
Nah, I'm
We're
good.
hilarious.
Nope, not
Nothing
at
like
all.
the 2 people that enjoy dad jokes being in charge of making jokes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I gotta look up stuff anyways.
Holy shit.
Wow, that was a terrible crack.
Logging out and logging
I
back
haven't even
in.
fucking
and
started
missed
yet.
it.
Oh.
I didn't hear any. I just heard breeze. A
Mm.
breeze.
Yeah, I'm just moving it back and forth, getting a feel for it.
Capital Montielaris.
This is just fucking grotesque. Holy shit.
I can hear it swinging around.
Yeah.
Wait, is it grotesque? How?
He feels kinky.
It
Too big now.
Finally questioning life choice. Yeah.
He should have been questioning life choices long before this if he's been making whips.
That's true.
Yeah.
God damn it. Oh, so me, Fuka, and Fraz are starting up a Stellaris game. Starting next Saturday. Take your Did you just hit yourself?
Yeah.
Sounds
And
You know,
they-
you're
like
not
You-
supposed to
everybody's-
whip
I'm a
yourself.
little concerned because if he whipped himself, he didn't sound as in pain as I would have hoped.
Well, maybe he's a flagellant.
Because it wasn't the very fucking tip of it. But I was trying to do a trick and I got my fucking shoulder.
Mm.
You
You
need to
failed
stop
your
going for the triple
you
whip.
failed your acrobatics check.
That's an athletics check to flick a whip. Acrobatics is doing a backflip while doing so.
Well, he was trying to do something finesse-like with his whip and paid for it, so.
Mm-hmm.
Then wouldn't that be more like a sleight of hand check?
No.
Yes.
You know what? I'm gonna go play this game I found
Okay.
while I'm waiting for everything.
The session gets canceled. Do we start movie night earlier or no?
That'll be up to everyone else, not me.
I can't watch movie
Cyrus,
night
how
because every
long's
time I
the
try to watch
average-
anything over Discord, it crashes my phone.
Cyrus, how long's the average Mythica movie?
Hours.
Okay, maybe we could squeeze it in if the session gets canceled. Binge another series.
Oh gods. I'll just end up going for a run, basically.
This game loves to kick my ass because everything I do fails. It's like playing D&D with Royce occasionally.
Only occasionally.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'm successful, at least with you. With this, it's like everything is, yeah, no, you're failing.
Occasionally.
This game I actually was going to recommend to Royce because it's a mobile game that I think he'd enjoy.
I don't play mobile games.
He doesn't play mobile
Well-
games.
Oh
Hey,
god.
Hello.
Well, it's less of a mobile game, more like a watered down RPG, but
Okay, guys, I guess there's no escaping tonight.
It's gonna be Genshin, isn't it?
What the fuck's Genshin? No? Okay. Oh gods, I can still hear him
Have
whipping
to-
himself.
And put the whip down. Christ, man. Chill out.
Ah,
If he keeps making noises like that, I say you mute him.
No, he's good.
Whip ASMR brought to you by Rejected Potential.
Pretty much.
Hey, I mean, an ASMR video might actually get a lot of views. So.
I'd watch it.
Yeah, well, I think the Whip ASMR mark. Whip ASMR.
You want to know what
No.
else is open? My door.
Okay. Congrats.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
No, God, no. Okay. Do. I'm just waiting to start things. I want to make sure everyone's ready, so.
Well, when Captain stops whipping himself,
I'm done whipping.
Are you,
but
though?
are you done nay-naying?
God damn it, shut up.
Do it. Do it now, Captain. Send us a video.
Never.
It'd just be like
I
4
am ready when
pixels
everybody
moving
else
across the
is.
screen.
That's fair. God damn it, that was bad.
This whip is 16.
That just sounds painful.
It is a bitch to use, but it's
How long is it?
it is 16 feet.
Christ.
Jesus, man.
What do you
Compensating?
need to hit at that distance?
Nothing but fucking Trevor Belmont's whip and the Castlevania show is like 20 something feet, so I want to get something.
Yes, in
Why didn't you
anime,
make
the
it 20 feet
physics.
then?
Right.
Why didn't you make it 20 feet then? Hmm?
Or if
Because
it's
I was
real
seeing if I
action,
was
that's
even able to do the
CGI.
math.
Sure, the
Look,
physics
I know it's
there aren't
unrealistic. I
questionable.
just wanted to try it. Can we play the game?
No, we cannot. Not until you make it 20 feet.
We're gonna be
No,
on the
it's
call
supply
for
the
like
fucking-
days.
Yeah, it will take me like 2 days to make one. At bare fucking.
No potty breaks until you finish.
That is gross kink.
So about that session today.
Yeah, can we just start?
It'll happen.
The DM has forsaken us.
Wait, he was there?
He was
Yeah.
for a bit. Okay, so that picture that I promised is coming right up.
Oh, you sent the picture of you doing the nene? Thank you.
No, I don't even know how to do.
Just Google it. Easy.
Alright, picture, gonna send it to Discord. It's in general.
What's in general?
The
Oh
whip.
gosh. This is like a weird snake. Goodness. Yeah, no wonder you have a hard time using it.
Proceeds to use.
Better use as a
Oh, boy.
tripwire. Oh gosh, you're typing.
Gotta use the restroom real quick. So be right back.
I just heard my phone go off, or my computer go off. What the hell? Did someone ping me?
I love that you came back as soon as Captain left.
Oh, he left? Okay, I'll cancel session.
No, he's coming back. He's just using the restroom.
Oh, it's okay. We can do next session. I'll plan more.
Oh, okay. Guess we're just gonna already fun. Okay.
I mean, you were 30 minutes late.
Ooh, naughty boy.
Over a situation I could not control.
Learn to control it.
I mean, Trent, just because you have to run 2 blocks to use a bathroom is not our problem.
Huh?
He said it was a situation he could not control. I assumed bathroom.
Cameron, did anybody ever tell you you're really an idiot?
Yes, I've heard that many times.
Okay.
No, it does not faze me anymore.
It should. Alright. Now that everyone's here, and Trent is aggressively typing to his girlfriend.
No, actually, I'm doing this for Cameron.
I have returned.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, last time we left off, I'm trying to think now. I'm completely thrown off here. Alright. My brain's not working. So yes, last time we left off with the campaign of Rejected Potential, the party managed to, well, mourn for the poor Zaya Ravensong and her untimely demise. And I mean, some people cared about Captain Ricard. Didn't seem like many. As Tikva signed on with the party, having joined on, Kip's still nowhere to be found as he's vanished off into the distance somewhere. They were also joined by the mercenary known as Fenrir. And thus we come back to the party having taken a full rest, having gotten through a lot of activities back home, and have set themselves up to begin preparing to leave. It is currently the end of summer. The year is, I forgot because I've stopped counting. And the chill is in the wind now. Thus we come to an early morning rise. I told you guys I'm off today, so what would you all like to do?
I'm guessing I stayed down in the forge, continuing to
Mm-hmm.
try to repent. I will just keep doing that.
Okay, you've taken 2 points of exhaustion at this point.
Immune to exhaustion thanks to my armor.
Next thing to steal, got it. Okay, Fenrir, since you seem to be...
Oh, yeah, I don't know why it keeps showing my mic is talking. I, having woken up, I'm assuming that I'm still just near Cyrus's room, making sure he's safe.
Correct.
Then, seeing as how I was kind of hired to be part-time Monster Hunter, part-time bodyguard, I'll just wait until either he wakes up or I get new orders. So I'll just sit at the table, just kind of wait.
Okay. Cyrus?
Possibly read a book or two.
Okay.
Cyrus wakes up, actually having slept this night instead of not.
Gaining a long rest.
Yep. Gets up, kind of gets his stuff together. When he leaves the room, Fenrir, you notice that he seems to be much more put together today. He's like,
Alright.
morning, or were you here all night? Did you get rest?
Yeah, I just kind of take a rest out here on the table. Is my mic still
Okay.
not working?
I heard you.
No, it was fine. Then he will just try to figure out where the rest of the people are.
Okay.
Probably starting with Tikva and then Malthor.
Okay. All right. Kips,
Hello,
you find
Your-
yourself
favorite doctor.
still laying in the center, having waken up. The last thing you remember is you were back in the Tabaxi lands. You were working with Mr. Rat Doctor, trying to get a lemon farm built up in your personal zone. And the next thing you find is that you've woken up laying on the floor of Ravensong Manor, where you had been introduced to Gaul and the rest of the party for the most part. And you're just, as you wake up, you are in the center hall on a nice red carpet with stairs going up on either side, a receptionist standing there, guards to the doors, Gaul kind of walking past you. And you feel very stiff as you feel like you haven't left this spot in many a days.
If I find a thumb up my ass, I swear to God.
No, but you do notice as you look to your right, there is a giant blood stain where you're right next beside you.
So there's people next to me.
Nope,
wait.
there's no one there. There's
Oh,
just
there's
a
no
blood.
one there?
There's just a blood spot right next to you.
How wonderful. Truly. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna get up, I guess, and look around. Actually, wait. Do I have? I think I do. Let me check. I do. I'm gonna cast Analyze Blood.
All right.
You weren't expecting that, were you?
I forgot I made that spell.
Here, let me send it to you just so
No,
that you can.
I remember what the spell is.
Okay.
Um,
You think a doctor wouldn't have that?
okay, so this blood has never been analyzed before.
Mm-hmm.
You have analyzed blood from no creature that was similar to this before.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all you get, because that's all that spell does.
Okay. So I don't know anything about it.
Nope.
Cool. It's not my blood though.
It is not your blood.
Okay. I'm fine with this scenario. What could go wrong? Absolutely nothing.
You do see guards posted at the two giant doors, one behind you that you recognize as the exit from the manor, and then one that seems to go further into the house, or into the manor itself. You see that very familiar Gaul walking past you, talking. A couple servants pass by you, and the smell of food is everywhere around you.
Lovely. I love food. Well, I'm gonna look for the rest of Rejected Potential though. First off.
Okay. As you look around the manor, from where you're at, you see a hallway to your right, a hallway to your left, stairs going up to the right, and stairs going up to the left, and a doorway in front and a doorway behind you. Which direction would you like to go?
I always take the back door.
Okay, so as you head out of the manor, walking into the town, you see a lot of tieflings, but after about an hour of looking around, you don't find anybody that looks familiar.
Well, fuck. This is wonderful. Okay then. This is quite the predicament.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask one of the guards where the rest of the party is.
All right, who are you specifically asking about? Or how are you going to ask?
I'll ask, do you know at all where Tikva is?
You don't know who Tikva is.
Like right now, Tikva's the new fuck. So where's the rest of the party? Where is the rest of the party? As I'm going to ask, where are they?
The guard, as you walk up to a younger guard, he looks at you dead in the eyes, bright purple eyes, a deep blue skin almost with small horns, and full plate. He goes, "I'm sorry?
The rest of the party.
What party? I do not know of any party known as Rejected Potential."
I know I'm here. Where's everybody else?
You would hear if you
No,
No,
I know.
shush,
I know
Malthor.
everyone's except yours. Your last character's name. I know everyone except your last character's name. Oh, it was Zaya.
Malthor doesn't even know his own
It was
last
Zaya
name.
Shut up,
Ravensong.
Malthor.
Zaya Ravensong. I
All
think
right.
it was Zaya. I'm going to ask, do you know somebody by the name of Zaya Ravensong?
He looks at you kind of with a sad look in his eyes as yes, I know our queen. I know who she was.
Do you know where she is?
He nods.
Excellent. So you can take me to her.
Yes. And he begins to walk you back into the building that you left, going through the doors that were in front of you. As you walk in, you see a small golden statue of Ricard Bennett and a small golden statue of Zaya Ravensong. And on tables in front of both of these statues, you see what looks to be a blanketed object.
Wonderful. All right, I can work with this. I'll be like, would it be okay if I had a moment alone with my dear companions?
I think you'd have to ask the queen for that.
She's dead, though. I just point.
Sir, I think we're gonna have to ask you to leave the manor.
I'm gonna ask you this, DM.
Mhm.
Body's there, right?
Yeah.
Zaya's?
You don't know. Yeah, 2 bodies, in
Two
fact.
bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. So, do I want to do this stupidly or do I want to do this stupidly? I think I want to do this stupidly. All right.
It's at this point that you do notice to your right that there are some doors opening up.
Just doors
Yes, 2 doors. 2 very large doors with ornate designs on them.
in the middle of nowhere.
No, off to your right. It's coming. It seems to be coming from a separate room.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. Probably guards. Okay. This is fantastic.
And as you state this,
Uh,
you see a tiefling that looks very similar to Zaya in many ways, but also almost unique in their own right. Out walks Tikva with her daughter and Gaul in tow.
Gall, my good friend. Hello. Remember that one time you shoved a thumb up my ass? Good times, good times.
Tikva glances at Gaul, looking a little bit confused, and looks back at him. I'm assuming she's holding her daughter.
Yeah.
She kind of like positions her in her arms, stands up a little straighter. May I ask what you're doing here?
You know, I really wanted to ask that question to you also. Why the fuck am I here?
Well, I presume you got to the Tiefling lands in some manner and
I
walked
don't
into.
know how.
Gaul looks to Tikva and goes, This is Kips. He's a renowned doctor, apparently. He was brought alongside with Cyrus and Zaya when they last arrived from the Sea Alpha lands, and he loves lemons. Forewarning.
So
I do.
you knew Zaya. Well,
Of course.
Doctor,
yes.
it's an honor to meet you, but I'm afraid your services cannot help Zaya now.
I would agree with that statement. She's kind of fucking dead. Sorry to break it to you.
And you can just see
Yes.
Gaul standing behind Tikva trying to go, don't do it, shut up, keep your mouth shut.
I am quite aware of this fact. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, if you don't have any allegiances now, are you looking for a way off the island that can be arranged unless you wish to stay around? Although I would like to ask
I'm
to
always
leave the
looking for
bodies
work.
be. Well, we could always use help. Tiefling Island isn't quite put together yet.
I noticed. Your guards are kind of mean. They hurt my feelings.
My guards are doing their duty, as instructed, and they're doing it quite well, I'd say.
They didn't even give me a box of chocolates.
Right. If you wish to speak about business, we can do so somewhere else. Gaul, could you take our daughter, please? And she turns to him and offers her out.
Gaul hesitantly takes the daughter, turns around, and walks up to a different door and heads out as quickly as possible.
Tikva smooths out her robes casually, taking her time, steps over to Kips and offers out her hand. Tikva Silversong. Pleasure to meet you, Kips.
Likewise, as I shake her hand.
We can go to my office to discuss business if you're looking to get tired or whatever else you need. If you're looking for Cyrus or Malthor, I could find them for you. I knew you knew them, although I admit they might not be in quite the state to speak, considering all that's happened.
Which ones were those again? I just look at her with the deadest.
Malthor was the
Cyrus
No, I
Galadron
know
is
who they were. I just need to he doesn't remember.
Cyrus Galadron is the human wizard, which was a companion to Zaya, and Malthor, of course, was her paladin guardian who served as her bodyguard. They're both still here. In the manor somewhere, I'm not sure doing what. Malthor is probably still attempting to smith, and Cyrus, from what I last heard from the servants, was seen at the library yesterday.
Alright. Well, I will leave them be if that's what you think is best. So would you like to go then?
Yes,
Okay.
and
Lead the way.
yeah, she'll take the lead to lead him towards. I'm sure there's like an office or somewhere where they do business with people or discuss things.
Yeah, as you head off to one of your rooms, and it's or heading off to one of the offices up in the front area, where normally a receptionist would be dealing with this sort of thing. What the hell? What? I was about to steal.
Yeah.
All right. Going into the room, you see a nice elm desk that's already set out with ink, paper that's
Oh.
blank. What?
By
Yes.
by the way, while I'm passing, I'm assuming the guards to leave the room.
Mhm.
I want to lean towards one and whisper an infernal. Keep an eye on the bodies, and if need be, put them back away out of view. Thank you. And then just keep walking and leading Kips.
Okay. And yes, it's sad when Gull's the only one who cares about you.
I care about you.
Thank
Zaya
you.
would care, but Zaya's dead. So
I would care about you, Captain, if I remembered you.
Wow. All right. As you walk out, you see Cyrus and Fenrir coming towards the same direction.
Cyrus,
Lovely.
do you know this man? I'll call out as I gesture to Kips. He says he knew of you.
Yes, he's been traveling with us since the Sea Elf encounter.
I see. And he's a good doctor, as I've been told.
A doctor.
That is what I've been told as well.
Whether that is true or not is up to the debate of many.
Both times that they needed a doctor, he was not available.
yeah, you need this. You need the schedule very much in advance for me.
He's more like he needs to go into necromancer. That way we can say he's just a very late.
Oh no, I do have necromancy spells.
Right.
He says out loud to the rest of the party, and the
Yeah,
realization
Tikva is-
clicks.
Can Tikva glance over him and try to assess what his motives are here, considering she just saw him near the bodies?
You don't have to roll insight. He's pretty upfront as a general rule, it seems. Kips had plans to reanimate those corpses.
Oh
I'm
no, I
going to
wasn't going to
ask-
reanimate them.
Oh, what were you going to do? Feel free.
Oh, here, let me explain to you what I was going to do. I wasn't sure where I was. I wasn't sure where everybody. Well, I knew where I was, but I wasn't sure where everyone else was. So I was going to, since I was going to ask the guard, "Hey, can I have some time alone with the body of my dear friend?" And if they said yes, which they didn't, I was going to use what was it? It was Speak with the Dead. Yeah, Speak with the Dead. And I was going to ask where they were, but the guard didn't. So I'm like, well, fuck,
So-
I need to know where we are. I'm going to take the body into my lab, use the spell, drop the body back off, and bolt for it.
So is he saying this out loud, or does
No.
Tikva just get that he was trying to communicate with the bodies?
You get the sense that he was just trying to get information on what happened.
Well, if you need informed on what's been happening, you seem a little lost, I can attempt to fill in the gaps, although I admit I'm a little out of the loop as well. Perhaps if you have questions, Cyrus might be the man to ask. He knew Zaya well, and what the party was up to better than I. Cyrus, are you free to chat if need be? I know you seem busy.
No, I can fill Kips in, and he will just basically recount what happened, that Malthor and Captain were off by themselves, the story of what Divis did.
Leave out the drunk scene.
Yep, leaving out the drunk scene. And he'll fail to mention that it seemed like they were tricked. Because he probably just didn't think of adding that.
Okay.
Sounds like a good enough story to me. Okay. I am now filled in. I would like to speak of my employment.
Yes. I am the new queen of the Tiefling Lands, so if you wish to continue serving under, I suppose, the queen and not just someone else randomly in the Tiefling Lands, we would be one to discuss that. I'm not sure what kind of arrangement you and Saya had, or if she had any contracts you signed. If so, I'll need to know those up front.
We never got a contract, did we? No, we didn't, but we are now. Let's have a contract.
Wonderful. I will ask, though, that if I am to be hiring you on as a royal doctor of sorts, I would like a show of your abilities before any contract is fully signed and put into order. This is
Of
to ensure,
course.
of course. Yes, I'm sure you know why. So, I'm trying to think. Would Tikva know of like anything particular? She's assumed there's like many soldiers who are probably hurt. There might be people in the town. None?
Nope.
No?
Town's healthy.
Sounds healthy. What about outside of the town, like further into the Tiefling lands?
It's a war
Where
zone.
stuff's still preparing?
It's a war
Yeah.
zone.
In order to test your abilities, we would probably have to leave the capital and head further inland. Stuff's still being newly repaired there, and I'm sure there's many who could be tended to. If you don't mind travel, that is, shouldn't be too long.
I love to travel.
Then let us
I don't know why I found that so funny.
let us
Anyways.
discuss the, I suppose, what you want in return, payment, things of that sort, and then
Oh no, I
before
don't care
contra-
about. No, just
You
give.
don't
No, I just want lemons. No,
You don't
no,
care about payment.
no, I don't want.
She's
the payment, no.
she's looking at you kind of skeptically at that.
No,
you
no,
could tell
no.
that
I
much.
just want funding for the actual.
Funding for
laboratory.
research.
You said
Okay.
Fenrir's here, right?
Yeah.
How close am I to Tikva?
I mean, a few feet, yeah.
I would like to walk over and like lean over and like put my hand like kind of over my mouth, like gesturing like I'm whispering, like into her ear, like I think he's lost his fucking mind.
An infernal.
Yeah,
I
And
don't
I
speak
think
infernal.
he doesn't know
you-
that, so he's being careful.
You
I know. I
ins-
don't speak. No, I say
Oh.
out loud. I don't speak infernal.
I think
Oh.
Tikva's gonna like her tail's gonna swish and she'll kind of turn her head slightly to Fenrir and just be like, "Are any doctors or scientists of the greater sort really ever sane?" And then she'll kind of like wave a hand dismissively towards him and like look towards Kips and be like, "If you need a lab, if you need equipment, I'm sure we could find ways to provide that.
I have a
Depends
lab.
on
I just and then I'll just bring up my lab. I have a lab. I just need funding.
Right. Well, we can discuss funding and funding for what. After all, I'd like to know what I'm funding is in interest of the kingdom and
Of
its
course.
people.
And with that, you
Yes.
hear the skittering, and as you all look about, you see a very giant rat skittering about.
Aw, big show.
How big?
You'd guess it's probably about a foot tall.
Can I make a reaction to grab it with my whip?
Sure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, big
Cyrus
chunky
is having
boy.
deja vu. Cyrus is having flashbacks, I'm sure.
What would I
Yeah.
Roll
my
because I'm not trying to
assistant-
kill it. I'm just trying to grab it.
Give me a dexterity check.
I can do that.
Is my assistant still in there, by the way?
No, he got knocked out of the ship.
Um,
He's dead.
Yeah,
He's
your
fucking-
assistant is dead.
Oh,
And I got
okay.
a 15.
All right,
I
as
will
you
have
go
to
to
find-
launch your whip, you catch the rat, and as you do, you see it start to glow.
I wouldn't touch that if I was you.
What is it?
It's explosive.
And at
Uh,
that,
Wait.
moment.
I immediately unlasso my whip and pull it back.
too late.
Can
Cyrus steps in
Wait.
front of Tikva.
do I know this is a magical like spell thing?
It's
Like-
not a spell. As
Oh,
this
great,
rat
okay.
explodes, everyone takes 42 force damage. As this thing just
42?
launches. Yeah, 42 points.
Did we not get any saves?
No, Malthor, you did not. No. It goes off before most of you get a chance to even react.
Would I hear this thing
Yeah.
go off?
Oh, yeah.
I come rushing up.
And you can feel the entirety of the manor shake.
I
As,
come rushing up.
as you come up, Malthor, there's a smell that you recognize, haven't spent a lot of time traveling. You recognize the smell of Logalthus.
I put my hand in my face in my hand, and I go, "Who the fuck built a bomb?
That
and
would
who
be
the
me.
fuck set it off in the middle of the middle of the goddamn manor?
And as
We
you
already have
look,
dead bodies in the next room."
as you all kind of get up and you look about, you see there's now a giant hole all the way through to the ceiling, as well as the entirety of the stairs are blown apart.
I'm sure that'll fix itself eventually. It's fine.
I'm gonna grab Kips and slap him.
Harder, Daddy.
I'm going
stay with
to,
you.
Run.
I'm
Serious
assuming,
You're
stand
right.
back up. I'm going to put my whip back in my belt. I'm going to profusely apologize to Tikva.
Hey, you know how to use that right
Tikva's
there.
gonna
I think
hold
we
a
need to
hand up
schedule-
and
I think-
immediately silence Fenrir.
Mhm.
Kips, is this the sort of research you conduct on the regular?
No, that
and
was
your
my
tail
that
is
was my,
lashing.
that was my late apprentice. That
And
was from my
this
last
Yeah, my
will...
blink dog shoved him off the ship that was flying towards here. I don't know if he's dead. He probably is.
I don't find
And
that surprising
this-
in the slightest.
And this will cease after today, these rat incidents?
DM, do I have any more explosive rats in there?
No, that was the last one. That was George. You recognize that, or you think that was George at least. It looked like George.
It looked like George. No, we should be okay. Should. Emphasis on should.
Alright.
Emphasis on
I
should.
would think that if we should have a laboratory ever built, should you ever need one, it will not be anywhere near the manor or buildings of importance. I would
You
say
should
out in the
probably put it 10 feet
countryside.
underground.
And if we are to have a deal made, I say I should not fund any programs until everything has been repaired and dealt with.
If you have anyone who knows mending, it'd probably be the best way to deal with that. Malthor's
just
gonna look
see-
up at the hole.
As Gaul comes to the where the staircase was, where that hallway ends now, seeing the splinters, looks up at the roof, just shakes his head and turns back around.
Oh, I need
I'm
more
gonna shout up,
lemons.
"Gaul, get the people that have mending on that, please."
You
I
just
also need more lemons.
you just see him turn and leave. He doesn't even
No.
care.
Give me lemons.
Cyrus stands
Call-
up. He
don't give
puts
him
his-
any more lemons. He blew up the castle.
Sorry, Cyrus, go ahead.
Yeah, Cyrus kind of gets up from being knocked back. He puts his hand on his vorpal rapier, looks directly at Kips, says, "If I see one more rat, we will not have problems with that anymore."
I agree. You can kill the rat.
I agree, we might kill you at this point, Kips.
Sir,
No more rats. At all.
Kips, sir, I request that as of today, we finish our meetings and discussion of your potential funding. I say I have to now figure out the repairs of the manor and will request we continue this conversation tomorrow.
At the mention of repairs, Malthor's gonna go find a way up the stairs and start using mending.
I can
Taking a
launch
break
off
from
the stairs.
forging.
If you need to be escorted out, I'm sure Fenrir could assist you, right, Fenrir?
Don't leave him alone! That's
No,
gonna
no,
cause
no.
more
I'm perfectly
problems.
fine left alone.
Yeah, I can do that.
Fenrir,
emergency.
please escort him out. Make sure he can get to a good inn to stay in. I can pay it out of pocket if needed. One that's nice and perhaps not at the center
Take
of
him to the
town.
Goblins Inn.
You better
That
not
was the
take me to
plan.
goblins. No, no, I refuse to bunk with goblins.
The Goblins Inn is very nice. He's a mute goblin. He's very kind.
I've never heard of such a thing known as a mute goblin. I don't think
It
those
is
exist.
amazing.
While Kips is talking, I'm just simply going to grab his shoulder, not necessarily aggressively, just enough to make sure he gets the idea we are leaving now, and I'm going to take him to the inn,
How rude.
the one that's like near the ocean.
How rude.
When
Wait, is
he's
that the
out
one
of
with the goblins?
It's
Yes.
the Goblin Inn.
No.
stayed in when Zaya was alive, we stayed in the inn.
I don't like goblins.
When they're both out of earshot, Tikva's gonna look over at Cyrus, first make sure he's alright after the explosion, and then ask, is he always like this?
Yeah, it takes a second. You can kind of see Cyrus concentrate for a second and seems to heal slightly. And he says, so far from what I've seen, it's not the uncommon state.
Did he
Who's breathing into the mic?
prove useful when he served under Zaya? I'm assuming she had him for some reason.
He seemed to be, yes. We haven't known him for very long. It's, I don't know, in game, it's probably been a week, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
DM.
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah, we've only known him for less than a week, but I mean, we've also been through a lot since then. It's, and you notice he's actually making eye contact today with you also.
Yeah,
He, I mean, we've escaped the Sea Elves. We went to got teleported to the Yuan-ti lands, and everything else that's happened since. It's been a busy week.
right. So I suppose I'll consider this funding, although I admit I'm not ecstatic. And as she looks around the rubble, she like kind of clenches her fists and unclenches them, and you see she also seems to heal slightly and recover for a bit from the explosion. It's great. More damage. That's just what we needed.
Currently,
What are
who's
your
all in the room?
plans?
DM. Oh, sorry. Go
Hmm?
ahead. Who's all in the room right now? Is it just
It's just
Cyrus,
Tikva,
and-
Malthor, and Cyrus.
Okay.
Malthor's fixing the hole slowly.
Yeah.
Very
Using
slowly.
mending constantly.
So,
Sweat on his
yeah.
brow. He looks a little paler than normal.
In general, yeah. So it's basically just Tikva and I. Malthor's distracted. Um, I have something for you. He looks at Tikva and he pulls
Is it
Zaya's.
more doctors?
No, I think this will hopefully help you down the road. And he pulls out of his backpack Zaya's crown and
I'm
hands it to
assuming
Tikva.
Tikva recognizes the crown that Zaya wore.
Yes.
I think she eyes it, reaches out and grasps it, inspects it, looking over, like verified it's real, and then she gives a curious look up to Cyrus, kind of a little bit of an arched brow. How did you get this?
I felt it was important after she died. So I took it off of her before anybody else came.
Mhm.
I felt that possibly you or whoever else ended up next in charge probably would require it.
Well, you're right. This will be of great use. Thank you. Cyrus, are you doing better today?
Yes. I'm better.
Right. What are You're in Malthor's plans now. I, of course, have things I could do here all day, all week in the kingdom, but if you have urgent things, we will need to discuss heading out after that doctor is dealt with.
Malthor will shut down. We still need to go to the mountain. I might not have his blade anymore, but I should still go try and see if I can save Normac.
I'm aware that is definitely on the list now, Thor, but I doubt that's your only goal, your only mission.
The other thing we need to worry about is the Tarrasque that's coming that we were warned about. It'd be
Right.
better to be prepared sooner rather than later. We need to have traps set up that are Tarrasque size. I'm thinking giant bear traps, immovable rods, maybe a big pit trap.
We will not
Or
be
a
able
lot
to
of people
fund
that know Banish.
ourselves. You do realize the kingdom's still in recovery. The Tiefling lands could in no way, financially or people-wise, handle the Dreskelon. We would have to speak to our allies, and currently Tenem is still missing, kidnapped as far as I'm aware. So if we wish to do anything with that, we would
It's
have to go to
either
Dragonsgate.
that, or we all go and we try and find ways to beat the Tarrasque using the gods and force the God War to cease. Oh, I understand your hatred of them. I am more worried for mine than anything else right now, but mine was always more on his own. The way that the gods of this world always built a hierarchy seemed odd to me. But it is not my place to judge them. It is not my meaning to judge them. We just need to either stop the God War before it happens and stop this Tarrasque, or we just need to just kill everything in our way. At this point, either option's good.
We should be a bit more critical of those we look up to. If they had the means to stop the Tarrasque themselves, I would hope they'd cease the destruction of everything we know. In this God War, if gods are set on it, I don't think we can stop it. They're above us greatly, so if they wish to fight, I don't think that's something we can intervene with, more so as participate in, unwilling or not, but that's besides the point. You are right. There's a Tarrasque we need to prepare for, but we need to help the kingdom. In that case, I will need all of your help in helping the kingdom here. And if you truly want to be declared as dukes, as Saya wanted before she died, then you will all need to step up to that plate. She looks at both Cyrus and Malthor as she says this.
No, Fenrir's still not out there keeping Kips from trying to get in.
Yep.
Along those lines, we're not powerful enough for the Trask or to affect the gods in an upcoming God War. And with the potential of gaining allies, I almost set out last night myself, but decided against it.
If I set out alone, I would have hunted your ass down, Cyrus, and kicked it. You're the last bit of family I have in this world, and I'm gonna let you go off on your own.
Yes, I decided I needed to go with everybody else, but I have the means to get back to my homeland. It seems, Malthor, you are having issues crafting. I know we have to deal with that with your god, but I have some ideas that we may be able to reach out to the Nords, possibly form an alliance, possibly get in additional equipment. There's some magical related items that I was hoping to find and procure for myself.
The Nords. They are the people bordering the Helio, correct? And the Helio, these are the people summoning.
Those are the people from the other world that are like me.
If we truly wish to stop the Tarrasque, I think we are getting a bit bold considering fighting it. We should be looking for ways to stop it from even coming into existence. And if
Well,
that's the case,
we
I
could
definitely think
also
we should speak to the Nords.
not just the Nords.
Also,
There is a chance that the Helio could be reasoned with if I do it and speak for us, but
They,
I speak
from what I
of
heard,
risk with that because I have seen what they can do past through
much
areas
like
where they have conquered.
the gods in our world, they are above at least the kingdom's power as of now with the tieflings. Forming an alliance with us would be probably of pity or they demanding respect. I don't see why they'd listen to us or consider us seriously until we have power worth note of them. They will most likely laugh at our face.
To people like that, power is not of note, it is of use. If we are of no use, then we have no power. That is all
Exactly.
there is to that. So it's not we need to become of note to them, it's that we need to be able to have them be afraid of us.
Which comes with
we,
reputation and power, both of which the kingdom's currently not the most
And while I hate to
proficient in.
say this, I could, instead of murdering the goddamn traitor that is Silverthread, if I can find him, I might be able to have him help us with that.
we also have common enemies.
Zilpip is one that we all need to worry about. That small dragon and his
I
arcane
hate that
power.
guy.
Kips, I will come out there and I will bitch
These-
slap you with a shield.
Right, and from what I understand, these Helio are aligned with said Zilpip, so the Nords are enemies of the Helio. Perhaps the Nords can also help us with Zilpip.
Well, Zilpip, from what I've found out, is a time mage. Very slippery with that. So even if we catch him now, it'd be the difficulty would be getting him somewhere where he can't use magic.
We are in
Outside
no
of that,
way
he is
powerful enough to handle
weak.
him now.
Well, not without without items of his own reputation.
My
You see,
people, the
he's not
Nords,
immune to his own poisons that he's put out into the world. He just had made items to help him get around them. We take away those, he's just as susceptible as the rest of us.
the Nords themselves are also very, very good at battle. Most of our history has been fighting against surrounding countries and nations. And so far, we have not been pushed back. We lose some, we win some, but they are very good at battle. It may be, if we are able to make an alliance with them, it may help bolster our own warfare knowledge and things like that.
Right. If we, what we'll need most now is,
And
besides
if we can
preparing
find
the
more
kingdom
of
and rallying the troops, we will of course need people provisioned in battle. And I definitely think speaking to these Nords will be of great use. Although I have to ask, what could we potentially offer them to entice them into joining? They will not form an alliance unless
10 to
we can
1 if
offer
they're
something
warriors,
to them.
then they'll want arms. If we go there straight after I am able to start forging again, either from knowledge that my god is gone, or from the knowledge that I saved him, then I'll be able to forge weapons greater than ever, possibly. But either way, they'll want weapons. If we can give
True, but
weapons, warriors will accept.
we cannot just rely on you alone. I'm sure there's something else other than weapons they need, Cyrus. I'm assuming they, as warriors, have plenty of smiths. Even if arms are always useful, what else would interest them? Something we can offer here in the New World, specifically.
That I will have to defer to the DM because as a player, I don't know.
What is the question? Sorry.
Anything else other than weapons that the Nords may find useful that the
Mm,
Tieflings may have access to that I would
magic.
know about?
The same magic casters, land, resources in
Mhm.
general, technologies, yeah, anything, pretty much everything, because they don't know much about the new world.
They would. I mean, we have. My understanding is there is a entire region of the Tiefling lands that is mining and things like that. The potential of raw materials. They also can use additional magic casters. And I'm sure if we formed an alliance, an alliance,
Lawrence.
that that they would be willing to share magics that they know with the new world, or with, I guess we're technically the new world to you, with this world, and the tieflings, and I'm sure the tieflings would be willing to share magics that they may know that we do not know.
Of course, if we have the people to give. My only worry is, of course, splitting up our troops further, but if I can hopefully unite the tieflings and the colonies back to the mainland once we are in better state, that shouldn't be of concern. We have still many materials, of course, work things out. I wish to not too freely give those up, but our land, even the ground, as you've seen by the corn outside the capital, that's there's high magic here, so I'm sure we can offer something of use to them. Information, if nothing else. I don't know how much they've heard about the happenings in this world. Seem to be hearing a lot.
You speak of the corn, even that may be useful to their fronts as
Do they have
spare
problems with
food.
famine in wartime?
No, but depending on if supply lines are broken, that having other supply lines available may
Yes, in
may
the
help.
Tiefling lands
Trade
and
agreements would probably be a
yeah,
good way to go then.
the Tiefling lands are in need of trading themselves, and although our currency's a bit broken now, that's of course being tended to as we speak. I'm sure we can work something out. How soon were you planning to head out to the Nordlands? I don't know how to get to the New World, admittedly. I don't know how long that travel will take.
Well, getting there is going to be very easy, as well as getting back, at least for a smaller group of people. I'm looking because I think it's 8. I don't remember. I'll look now. But using, I've been, I guess you wouldn't know, sorry. I had recently gotten the ability to use teleportation circles. Um,
Mm.
right now I know of the one down in the dungeons here, as well as I know of one back home. So we would be able to get a small group of people back and forth quite quickly.
Within, I imagine, just a few
In,
days, depending on how long we stay, correct?
at my current abilities, abilities level, it would have to be spread over 2 days. I don't have the ability to cast that spell more than once in a given day.
Of course, I understand. Malthord, how urgently do we need to head to this mountain? From my understanding of how far away that is, it would take us much, much longer to reach there. If we did, in fact, get there successfully, I know you all and Zaya had issues in your travel by sea and I guess now by air.
The
And
sooner we get there, the better, honestly. But if we take too much of a detour, I don't mind. As long as we get there soon, like within the next week.
It might be useful for you to go there. If they are indeed great warriors, I'm sure they have great smiths, and if you need new ways to smith with your god potentially being dead, I think it might be worthwhile for you to even head there.
there are a group of dwarves in that area that are master smiths, Malthor. That
Well, then maybe we can go there and I can learn for a little while. Granted,
Yes.
my master was not. My teacher, when it came to forging, was not a dwarf. He was actually a dragonborn. A
Mm.
red one at that, but it would be good to learn of other smithing. And my God,
The metals
maybe
there
able to.
might be different.
Well, metals everywhere are about the same. They don't change too much, unless you get into the ones that are that have been absorbing magic. Then that can make things very different.
What I understand is the new world, your world, I guess, Cyrus, is quite full in magic, is it not?
Yes, in some ways, magic is slightly different, but yes, it is. And
Then
he doesn't, I don't know how long it took Captain and him to get here, but he will mention that he does know by
That was
water it took.
it was about
X amount of-
7 months for the journey.
Yeah,
then
so we
it
would
might
be
be better to
able to,
quickly go
yeah.
to the mountain and teleport back just in case any damage comes to the little ship. I point at Cyrus, because that
Well, like
takes
I-
a few days to repair on its own anyways.
Yes, but like I said, as I could get us there one day and get us back
Yes,
potentially the next, depending on how fast we were able to accomplish things on that end. But
Well then,
travel
I'll
would
agree to
be
go there first.
instantaneous.
keep Cyrus alive, I suppose, but I think we have other issues if you die than just transportation.
If he dies, I might be able to bring him back if he's only on the brink, but outside of that, we'd have to rely on Kips. And when he says this, when Malthor says this, he gives a little shudder and simply says, I'm going to warn. If he has any other rats show up, you don't touch them. You get them into a barrel and you shove them away.
Or as I like to call it, the big barrel yeet.
You hand the barrel to me and I throw it as hard as I can. Or Cyrus, or somebody who can throw it. You just do not leave it nearby.
Yes, the beware the rats.
There, beware the rat sign.
We'll put it on your damn door. Now, I
And
suggest we get ready to leave. How much of the repairs have I gotten through using mending constantly while talking?
At this point, it's starting to look better. So is it worth taking the doctor with us to the journey, or safer to leave him here? Is what Tikva says. I do not
It'd
wish
be
to leave
worth
him
taking him with
unsupervised.
us.
yeah,
It'd
I
be worth
think we
taking
should
him with
bring him
us
with.
just to keep him under supervision, because this way he wouldn't be left here to do to his own devices while in the capital.
Good, then I can suppose talk to him. He'd have to agree to come as well.
He
But
enjoys lemons.
Right, right.
You might be able to
I-
pay him in that instead of money.
I'll look into it. I do need to speak to Gaul before we head out. I have things to tie up here real quick before I go on any sort of travel. I'm sure you understand. And if you are serious about being named Dukes, I will have to start things for that. Sure, there'll be
That
paperwork to
is-
follow.
Yes, and we'll probably end up having to move here, but that is fine by me. I don't have to go back to the temple for much, just to go back there and see if any of them would be willing to come here that are left.
And I will reach out back home and see what I can find out about the current state of things there.
Yes, that might be good. That way we can gauge the situation before arrival. I'm going to go rest, I guess, after I get this repaired.
Right.
If
Well-
I've gotten nothing back yet, I might not get anything back till we go to the mountain.
Right. I will head off then. I must find Gaul. If not, I suppose I could do things by myself, but his input will be needed, I'm sure. If you need me, you know, I'll be around. Can always send a servant
If
after me.
I raise up the wrist that has Zaya's hair bracelet, I'll be able to send a message if I'm close enough.
Right. Would have been useful if I had one of those, but of course, if I'm here, I should just be in the manor, and if not, I'm certain you can find other ways to contact me. She kind of like glanced over at Cyrus,
Yes.
assuming he has spells that can do stuff.
Yes, I have means of doing that.
She nods her head. Good. Then
Cyrus, I
be
should probably talk
prepared.
to you about some ideas just in case the plan to stop the Tarrasque summoning fails.
And you, Malthor, should make sure you've eaten. I know you've been fasting. You're going to need the energy.
At least until this armor starts failing like the sword did, I have plenty. Granted, when he
If you
says this,
say
he
so.
looks absolutely exhausted, but the armor is seemingly glowing. It has
Malthor.
a prismatic sheen to it.
If this armor can keep you alive without food, so be it. But my advice is, even if your god is a good one, he seems to be dying, and you might have to accept that fasting may not make much of a difference other than on your own body.
I will eat some small things, but
Good.
until
Like
once this is
lemons.
done, I will. If is there a bit of rubble I can throw at Kips if he's in the room?
He's not here. He's
Kips is
gone.
off on the behind
You
one
know
of the
what? You know
bars.
what?
Ren.
After this, I am summoning a goddamn blink dog to go chase his ass down.
He is off
And bite
staring
it,
at crabs currently.
specifically.
He's getting crabs.
And poor Fenrir
Crab
is stuck watching this.
Oh.
Well,
Fenrir could come
Fenrir,
back
you're
as long as assuming Kips has been escorted out of the building for sure. You can
I
leave the
will,
other
I will,
guards to
I
it.
will follow him if he does.
Fenrir is watching Kips direct a crab rave.
As he pulls out his flask that never seems to empty and continues drinking.
Wait a minute. I know whose flask that originally was. How did he?
So,
My
as
goddamn drunk sorcerer.
No, it emptied about a half hour ago. That's why he keeps looking at it.
No. It's better for the backstory. You found the infinite flask of fire whiskey.
no, that hasn't been found
No.
yet. That is still in the
No.
world.
That is the best item I have ever made. There is no doubts.
So, as you guys begin to plot your plans out, figuring out, we're gonna start with
Repairing
Cyrus.
buildings.
Cyrus, you said you would like to contact back to your home.
Yes.
Okay. How do you plan to do so?
I am going to
Sending.
cast Sending, which allows me basically, as written, 25 words. And they can reply. So I am going to
No.
reach
ahead.
out to the mage that I apprenticed under, Malcolm. So I'll cast it. Master Malcolm, this is Cyrus Galadron. I was hoping to visit and possibly find a master tattooist and one of the dwarven master.
You've ran out of words.
Yeah, that's what I figured. probably got about tattooist.
Okay. All right. As you cast it, you feel
And
the
he can
message,
reply.
or you feel the spell go off, but immediately, almost as if you can feel the magic coming back to you.
So like it didn't connect. Okay. Let's
I'm
see.
sorry to inform you, sir, but there is no service in this area.
Yeah. That was Sending.
The Grads have received the message. They are now coming. Everyone run.
God damn it.
He will try one more.
Okay.
This time to
His mother.
close his father.
Okay.
Hello, mother. Hello, father.
You'll say, "Hello." I tried to reach out to Malcolm. Is he okay? I'm looking to come home soon for a visit.
And no response.
Okay. He won't try again. He will just confused as why it's not going through. Because in his mind, it should be fine.
Mm-hmm. For
And
some.
that's all he has.
Okay. All right. We will come back to you then. Kips, you're
Yes.
still watching the crabs dance to music you cannot hear.
It is wonderful. I am loving this dance. I'm gonna just record this into my journal
Okay.
shortly. I'm just gonna jot it down.
As you begin
Crabs
writing
dance and
and
tiefling lance.
drawing up the design of the crab's dance, while Fenrir continues to stare at his flask standing behind you.
Wonderful.
Nearly
This
crying.
This is wonderful. I love this. Anyways, so DM.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to take a look around in the town for any sort of medical staff or any sort of, like, if there are none, I would like to go and take a look at any of the local priests and whatnot.
Like you're shopping for a puppy, or like?
Like I am looking for more assistance and just personnel.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll come back to
Yeah.
that in a moment.
You find only unskilled laborers.
Um,
All of them have no housing issues.
Fenrir. As you watch this crazy furbolg continue to start to draw the crabs who are dancing and drawing their different motions, and then just seems to close up the journal and starts walking off into town again. What do you want to do?
Realizing that he is no longer going to be trying to head back inside the fucking manor.
Uh-huh.
God, words escaping my head. I'm gonna look for a doctor to fucking patch me up.
Okay.
But not Kips. Not Kips. Anyone but Kips.
We'll come back to you in a moment.
Wow. Thanks.
You need your spell slots. He made it sound like we're gonna fight fucking God.
Maybe. All right. Coming back to you guys in a bit. Tikva,
Yes.
what would you like to do?
I would like to try to locate Gaul. If I cannot, then I'll head to the office I was with Gaul yesterday when we were discussing the war plans, the Tabaxi. I'm not sure where that was, but I'd like to find Gaul first if he's still at the manor.
First, they never want anything to do with Gaul, and now it's Gaul this, do that, Gaul be
I'm
here.
Tikva now.
As you head towards the war room, taking a right and heading up the stairs that Malthor has mended, you find the room is empty for a moment, and then it almost fills just as quickly as you suddenly notice off in the corner your daughter jumping around as Gaul is sitting there watching her destroy and chew on different parts of wooden designed figures for the coming wars, and just looks sad.
Is she eating too many of these figures of yours? Tikva is a little amused as she picks one up from the table and inspects it. One that hasn't been chewed on.
Yeah, it's just a different figurine. It looks kind of like a chess piece almost.
You could try to stop her, you know.
Kips, please mute yourself when you're typing rigorously. Thank you. Gauge kind of looks at you and goes, "Yeah," and then she casts a spell at me, and then I turn into a toad, and turning is bad. Just like swooping.
Yeah, you would be right. but I've come to talk about business as usual. I'm sure you know. The Cyrus and Malthor have discussed plans of potentially heading towards the Nordlands in the New World to discuss an alliance, and I think Cyrus has business there. He seems quite confident of their use, and that an alliance is potential, and of course, you know how badly we need new allies and resources, so I believe we'll be setting out in a day or two. But before that happened, I had some suggestions for dealing with the Tabaxi incident here before I went out.
Mm-hmm. As he
How
continues
goes the
staring.
how goes the war planning on your end?
Well, we're outnumbered 10 to 1. We don't have 90% of our lands fulfilled with citizens. We're probably going to take at least 2 generations to rebuild the population, and most of the war equipment is destroyed. So, other than that, we've also got a plague of dancing crabs.
Great. I did have some suggestions before we went straight to war. Have you had any word of Tenham or any news on any of his vassals?
Oh, did I not tell you?
No.
Yeah, Tenham was released. He looks down at his invisible watch, and kind of looks back up at you and goes, yeah, he was released a day or two ago, from what my information has told me. He was he paid off the ransom that was owed, and he was let go. His sons, I guess, are still alive. They've returned back to Dragon's Gate for the time being. And as far as the Nords go, well, the Nordling Prince can be a unique one. I was luckily allowed to meet him, you could say, while I was traveling through Dragon's Gate at one point. Um, After a almost meeting with their queen, I ended up running into him on the streets during a Rakshasa attack. Quite an interesting afternoon. I saw flames, I saw explosions. Someone set the city on fire. Someone opened the gates to allow the army in. It was quite an interesting siege.
Yes, I think I've heard briefly about it.
Also, I'm a little bothered that you're not more terrified of the fact that we have dancing crabs on our shores.
I think that Dancing Crabs is just another show of how fucked the worlds are, and that clearly we are in need of help, but unless the crabs prove to be dangerous to the populace, they might be of use somehow. I would rather worry about the war at hand. I myself am not too happy with the Tabaxi, but I don't want to take rash actions. However, I'm not sure what the populace is like, but I'm certain if we don't do something after the assassination of our queen, the people will grow even more unhappy. Those who are still here on the mainland, which is not as many as I'm sure you know we'd like.
Well, the colonies no longer existing. We lost those a while ago.
Really?
Yeah, the Snow Elves unfortunately invaded in a full attack. According to what Zaya had mentioned, when I first ran into her, the Snow Elves had started taking the shorelines, and they worked their way in. So we have no colonies.
Mm.
Those few
We'll
tieflings
need
that were there have fled.
We'll need to talk to Tenham. He's allies with them now, from what I understand. I'm sure he could understand. We might need help in getting those lands back. If not, maybe we could talk to the Snow Elves, although I don't know much about them.
Well,
But
the
for
queen is said to be the daughter of the great dragon Empress Saphira and Mizna, the one that snips.
right, I'm aware.
Shrieks in the
Yes,
distance.
I I suppose we can attempt to deal with them, although I have other business to tend to with hopefully the Nords.
Well, good luck with the Nords. From what I understand, with a full vampiric outbreak, the lands
Vamp-
haven't been doing too great.
Vampiric outbreak.
Yes, one of the ancient viruses, I guess, of the Nordic lands has taken hold during the invasion by the Heli, and so good luck.
Is Fenrir
Nope.
anywhere
No, you are
nearby?
not. This is in the war room, locked away, guarded. Royal business. Now, shh, pigeon. Very well, I suppose I'll bring that up to Cyrus. He didn't seem made aware. As for the tiefling, the tabaxi lands, dealing with those, I'm sure you're already on it, but if not, I do think we should be sending some spies in, or anyone in to get information. I don't think right now we can handle them in direct warfare or confrontation, but we do have the seas to our advantage, and if we can make notes of their trade routes and those, we might be able to at least cut off supply from the city. I know most of the power does not reside there on the throne, but Dibus Jr. does, and he seems to be our main object of concern.
As far as I understand, we have no right now. We don't even have the manpower to raid their trading lines. We don't have the manpower really to go past our own borders at this point. Until we build up enough to recapture the mainlands, our best bet is to hold off and turtle, as some would call it.
Right. Tenham's men.
We are turtle
Now
hunters,
that
there's a
he has been
turtle.
released, are they more willing to comply, or is there still too strong
Tenham
of
took
unrest to rely on them?
Tenham took his army and returned back to his home, back to Dragon's Gate. We have no one.
Great. Then I suppose we need to first focus on getting more men. Is there anyone of note we can put in important positions? I've been informed by Cyrus and Malthor that they were to receive dukedoms
The
from
paperwork
Zaya.
has been started on that. He pulled.
Wonderful.
He kind of reaches into his back pocket and pulls out what looks to be a really old and yellowed piece of paper on a wooden scroll wheel,
Mm-hmm.
and it has a seal on it of the House of or with the Silver Song emblem designed into it. And he looks at you and goes, "I did find this in your. I'm not gonna count the amount of great grandfather's tomb when I was
Right.
having it excavated to design one for Zaya, and I guess according to the orders, Captain himself as well, and I might to or join her in the afterlife. It's a treaty. We have apparently treaties with the dwarves, with some of the high elves, and apparently the Yuan-Ti themselves, as well as some of the changelings, but the
Mm,
changelings no longer exist. You could use these to enforce and
yes.
gain more troops. We did have a
Right, and
contract with a group called the Halcard Company, but it does seem that they fell apart. So, hey, good news, no gold is owed.
wonderful. I suppose that's good news on our end. Less people to pay. Gods, no, we can't afford that. The Yuan-Ti will be interesting. They seem to be enemies with the Tabaxi, and should we need help raiding their lands, I do think the Yuan-Ti would be good people to help with that. The dwarves, I believe we're needing to head towards their lands anyway, according to Malthor. Him and his god issues. Could speak with them there. The High Elves. I believe Saya was traveling with an elf, not sure if he was a high one. They would be good to contact as well.
Well, elves, dwarves, Yuan-Ti. It's the best army we can get. It's starting to sound like one. Maybe the end of the world won't happen so easily.
Well, one can only hope. If not, it'll be good to have these allies. Should we need to face the end of the world? People
He
seem so certain of this Tarask arriving.
he kind of smiles and says, I remember reading a quote from a book about the olden days. An old lady told a young dwarf apparently something along the lines of dwarves, elves, mages, and a baron, and even a baron. It's an army. It sounds like an army to me.
Indeed, it does. Well, I just wanted to discussed this with you. It feels irresponsible to leave for political business when the kingdom is still in shambles, but Cyrus and Malthor seemed adamant on leaving and not quite on staying and doing upkeep, which seemed to be the case when Zaya was in power as well. I'll be trying to convince them to put our energy here in the kingdom, but if that's not the case, I'm sure you have things handled better than I could.
Gaul nods and goes, "Oh yes, I am amazing at politics, economies, and so much more. I'm
Do
still
we
bothered by
have
dancing crabs."
I'll look into it. Might be from the New World. Do we have any trusted people we can start putting into advisors' positions? I feel like we should at least have someone who can help us with trade and economics and our financials. That seems to be one of our most important priorities right now. I'm sure you have all things related to warfare handled out, but really, some of these trade agreements go right over my head.
Well, currently we are actually the best option we have right now is recruiting a man that I've been looking for ever since Zaya came into power. A man by the name of the Red Storm, an ancient tiefling. If we can gain him, he'll be our
Right.
best bargaining tool, if you will. The man had single-handedly
Red
fought off an
Storm.
entire invasion of Tabaxi in the Southern Lands at one point.
I remember hearing tales of him. Do we know where he's at?
Wherever there's death, blood, and more death, that's probably where we'll find him.
Right. I suppose I can start looking into this as well.
So, in a crater somewhere.
Right. I'll definitely look into that. He hopefully will be willing to help out the Tiefling lands. We'll not be able to get back to our former glory or even surpass it if we don't start getting the support of the people. Do you know any ways we could work on that? I'm sure I could
Conquest.
try to figure out. That is what I was thinking. Where are some lands that would be easier for us to take? I should put it. Everything seems well guarded or commonly fought for.
Simple.
We need a
You want glory, you want your name. Easiest way, kill Tenem.
Mm,
If you kill him, take the title of the High King of the Dragon's Gate Alliance and the Dragon's Empire. We've already got one of their claimants. We can put her in control of Dragon's Gate itself. She's already informed me that she'd be happy to have her children back.
claimants.
Yes, your cousin managed to buy, he says in air quotes, a woman by the name of Aeron.
Hmm.
And she has been itching to kill Tenem and get her throne back. She's the one who built up Dragon's
Right.
Gate and did all she could to defend it. With her being a
Well,
claimant, we have a right to take Tenem down. You can best him in single combat. You could take the alliance, make it your main throne as the emperor. Put Aeron in in charge of Dragon's Gate once again. She did well in claiming the throne and managed to build it up. Forge an alliance with the Gnolls, although your friend Cyrus may not be a fan of that, from the New World, and she'd be able to have her great weapons back. Given what I've been told, I think that she'd be a good asset and a good vassal to have. You alright? Tikva muted. Give her a minute. No worries, take your
sorry.
second. You're good.
Right. I don't know if I can hit best him in single combat now. From what I understand, he's chocked full of magical items, more
Mm-hmm.
so than maybe the royal treasury at this point. If we could start getting information on his weaknesses, however, I would be willing to look into it.
This
Yeah.
man killed an ancient green dragon single-handedly. Weakness he does not have, besides his own bravado.
Everyone has a weakness. He might not have one physically, but I'm more one for the mental aspects anyway.
The only thing I
I'm
can
sure
think
he
of
has
is there's been one man that could
something.
probably challenge him physically. A dragonborn by the name of Snicknesh that I'd heard rumor of, man supposedly cut down an entire army of dragonborn on his own. Last I heard, he was turned into some sort of gold statue and dropped off at the capital of the Golden Dragon, down in the Dragonborn Empire. You can revive him if you know someone with a true revivify or true resurrect spell. Probably could get him. He'd be indebted to you. Probably serve as a good frontline soldier. In fact, all of the Grim Legacy minus Zilpip, from what I understand, are dead. If you can figure out their whereabouts, resurrect them, they'd be a true asset to our team.
Right.
Otherwise, allies are short and far between. The Storming Empire has not sworn vassalage to anybody at this point, from what I understand. Most of the minor races in the New World haven't either.
Be good to talk to them then.
Those are your options. As far as it goes, if you can kill Tenem or manage to defeat him or shank him in a dark dungeon, whatever works, to be honest. You could claim the throne with Aeron's backing. You'd have no reason not to. She owes you her life, as is right now. Well, she owes the Raven Songs her life. Zarius would back you, as we've now got the Black Talon Merchant Guild on our side. He sees more profit in our territories expanding, in exchange that he gets full trading reservation and rights.
Of course.
We've got a good backing, but we do need more troops, so it's up to you on
Right.
how to figure that out. Pick up allies where you can.
Of course.
Kill those you can't.
I shall look into getting these Grim Legacy members. The Cyrus and Malthor seem familiar with Zilpip. They might be familiar with the others. I can ask them about this. I do think taking power from Tenem's the right way to go. It just might be a slow burning campaign. But I suppose that's all of war, isn't it?
Well, his biggest alliance currently is between the Snow Elves, which the Queen's currently single, and enjoys warfare. There's also the High Elven King, who Aeron is not a fan of, but you could garner an alliance with him in some way or another.
Yes.
He does have a daughter of his own. You could garner alliances with Zilpip. You know, that's the be advantageous to us, but I don't know what else I can recommend.
Well, you said the treaties you found signed from one of my grandfathers, of course, back down the family.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think Tikva disconnected. Welcome back.
All right. I'll just say what I said when I was apparently muted. Well, you said that this treaty you found from however many one of my grandfathers back. We had an alliance made with the High Elves, did we not? Perhaps we could speak to this High Elven King you speak of.
He nods, says, yes, you could.
Good. Do we know our current standing with any of these kingdoms you've spoken of that we have treaties with?
Most don't
Like to
care of
know
us. Yuan-Ti don't know, are not exactly the kindest lot.
Right.
Dwarves, well, you'd have to speak to Trinitas himself. You could go up north and claim to speak with Logolthus himself. From what I understand, he gave up his godhood to take on an undead kingdom of his own. Nothing like undead soldiers. Changelings, your luck is as good as mine for what I understand of them.
Right.
Yeah. I do not know. You'd have to forge alliances far beyond what I can respect.
Yes. I thought I recalled hearing when I had first met my dear cousin in the Tiefling capital here that she traveled with a changeling, did she not? Do we know where this changeling might have gone?
Home? No idea on that one.
Right. I suppose if we could keep an ear out for that, if she knows where changelings are, they would be of use. From what I
Mhm.
understand, they had quite the capabilities back when they had their numbers.
I would agree, but as far as it goes, I don't know where they are. All I
Right.
know is it's time to take a little Missy here and get her fed before she eats all the rest of the war pieces. Damn it, that's the third one.
Yes. Wood's not exactly the best for her diet, I'd have to agree.
At this point, I might as well take a Snicknash. As he picks her up and
Thank
starts
you.
heading out the room.
Thank you, dear. I'll go speak with the others and try to get things figured out.
Fucking goddamn it, Cyrus.
Didn't even spell hi correctly.
Yep.
At the minute, okay, once Skull and Zaya Jr. have left, Tikva will also leave, shut the door, and go to find Cyrus or Malthor, whoever she comes across first. She'd like preferably to get them both together, and Fenrir, if he's back, to discuss these
Okay.
things.
All right. As you head out, we will come back to you. Malthor,
Yep.
as you've headed to the forge, is there anything you wanted to do?
I did eat some food before I went down, as I told Tikva I would, and I'm just going to light it, throw some metal in, and I'm not even going to try to work it this time. I'm just going to let it get to glowing hot,
Okay.
and I'm going to pray.
As you do, nothing seems to happen.
I'm not expecting much. I'm praying for Normac's safety,
Okay.
to be specific, and I would only have come down after repairing the stairs fully. That way they wouldn't collapse in.
Yeah.
I would have probably tried to partially repair the roof as well.
Okay. So after a while of working in the forge, still nothing seems to come of it. The day goes on and the forge seems to cool at every chance you try to work it. It's almost as if the forge itself does not wish to be worked.
I give it a pat and say, I know, I let my anger blind me. I failed. I'd do just about anything to fix the failure. Go back and change it and make it so that I fell and not her. But I'm no time mage. So all I can do is move forward, allow vengeance to happen, and if the need comes, protect those who I call family now. I
Okay.
will be devoted to my family, and I still will be devoted to Normac, no matter how far gone he may be. I then.
As you say this, you see something in the smoke. You see what looks to be a stone wall of many bricks coming off in the smoke itself. You see yourself and Cyrus talking to what looks to be a very old man with a very long beard and what looks to be wizard robes. And you see standing beside said wizard a small gnome with gray skin and silver hair, wearing
I take
full plate armor and recognizing the Normac symbol with a massive scratch into it.
I take a deep breath. So I need to hunt down Silverthread. I will do that too. If I knew where he was, I'd head there straight away. But every lead I get seems to run dry before I catch up with him.
All right. As you continue to pray to your forge, the smoke seems to almost go out and the forge dies down.
I'm beyond tired at this point. I would pull any sort of bedding I could together and just lay there.
Okay.
Too restless to find sleep with what I've seen, but now getting a rough idea of where Silver Thread may be.
Okay.
The idea of Cyrus standing there has made me think.
All right, we will come back to you in a moment. As Cyrus, you
Yes.
head off after seeing this group going in their own separate directions. What do you wish to do?
One quick question, just to clarify on the sending I did, that will jump dimensions. Just in case there
Yes,
was a
I
dimensional
know.
thing.
I
Okay.
saw. I
Okay.
read the spell.
Okay, just wanted to clarify because
Mhm.
it's right at the end.
Yep.
He will find a spot to be alone, possibly just go back to his room. And unlike in the past when he's had to ritual cast the wrist pocket dimension,
Mhm.
he now has that prepared. So he can just cast it normally. He'll cast that, pop the wedding ring out,
Mhm.
and hold it for a little bit, look it over, and then he will just think of Zaya and say, somehow, some way, I'll get you back. Continue thinking about it for a little bit, and then after a little bit, he'd just pop the ring back into the wrist pocket dimension.
Okay.
He'd probably want to end up doing a long rest or short rest. I'm sorry.
Okay.
In some of the time that he's by himself. In that time, I'm going to use Arcane Recovery to gain a level 3 spell slot back
Okay.
and run some hit points. But I can just roll them up and add it.
All right.
And that's all he has just for right now, as immediate. After he would do that, he would probably make his way back to Tikva and let her know that his attempts to communicate with home did not work.
Okay. So eventually, after you're out and about, you do find a priest who does heal you fully.
That's awesome.
Kips, sadly, you find that each priest and medical personnel seems to run away from you.
God fucking damn it.
Eventually, the guards come and bring you guys both back to the manor itself. And as you all gather together, finding Malthor dragged up there as well.
Malthor wouldn't resist. He'd just get up and walk, saying once it said that he's needed.
Okay. Oh man. Okay. All right. As you lot kind of gather in the main hall, you see Cyrus already there discussing with Tikva, and the bodies have been removed at this point, as you notice, and everything's been cleared out.
Malthor is going to walk up to Cyrus real quick and
Mhm.
immediately say, I need to speak with you a little bit more privately. No offense to anybody else here, but this is something I do not wish to share too much more.
Right. Just be quick. I have some important information.
Okay, I'll pull Cyrus off into a side room, whatever one, or right out into the hall. And then I'm going to share with Cyrus the vision I had with the smoke, essentially, and describe the old wizard in robes and be like, do you know him? As best as I can, if I got any good details of him.
I will think about his description of it, and I will have to refer to the DM if that's
He has a long beard.
assuming maybe a history, or if unless
No,
it's
this
just a new
sounds
information.
identical to the Malcolm from what you can recall.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at him
Um,
and say, then there's where I'm heading. We're heading there because
Yeah,
Silver
he
Thread is
was
there,
my
and you understand.
my previous master. He trained me in magics.
Silver Thread, I know I've spoke of him solemnly, but he's a paladin that has been making trouble. And by wronging Normac's name, Normac gets weaker. He is there. And I do need to either make him repent or kill him. So we will be heading there first. If you ask why, and if Cyrus even gives a questioning look, Malthor will simply say, "The smoke in the forge told me."
No, he won't question it. He will just agree.
All right.
And then Malthor will head back inside.
As you guys come back together, you realize now is your last calm moment before you figure out where you're going next.
Cyrus will, with Malthor sharing the vision that he had, it'll spark the idea in Cyrus's head that he doesn't think anybody shared the visions that Zaya had shared with the group, and or him.
Mm-hmm.
He will try to get Tikva off by herself, or potentially head to a private room somewhere and basically share everything along what he knows.
Okay.
While you all
the-
are gathered in this one room, you're going to grab the queen and drag her off to a side room.
Well, yeah.
Kinky Cyrus, come on.
Eh,
You already
Tick-
you already wooed
Well,
one.
I was about to say,
I
Cyrus
was
wasn't
thinking
playing
more
for me.
probably along the line, like probably like Malthor did, ask if
Step into the
he
hall.
could step off to the side to share some information that might be
Hey,
useful.
let's go check out your new bedroom over here.
Before we discuss anything further, I feel it must be said that I've heard from Gaul that heading to the Nords may not be the best right now. I've been informed they're overrun by a vampiric disease, supposedly one ancient in your world. I fear we might not find allies so much as enemies if we go there.
It
That won't be a
seems,
problem.
Malthor, would you like to share what you saw?
Malthor will look at Tikva and be like, I support going there. I may have a way to save my god at least a little bit and repair my oath before without having to go to the mountain, which will be helpful. But it
Very
requires
well,
going there.
but
And I will simply say, as there is a bounty on one paladin's head.
are we confident that with the weakening of your god, that your holy powers will be able to help us against such
Malthor
beasts
gives a
as these
small smile
vampires?
with this. Right now, I do know one thing. As long as I end up close to them, they will become more powerful, as is an Oathbreaker's curse. However, my smite still will sting, as it always has. As well as I'm not just a paladin with an oath.
You won't have to worry about the vampires. Like that, my family specialize in killing monsters of the night. This won't
Well
be a
then,
problem.
I think we'll be able
There you
to
go.
work well together.
We might need holy water before we head out then. Cyrus,
Oh,
we
yeah,
may
we have-
speak, but after I have plans to discuss with all of you.
I also have holy water on me.
Tread
and,
water.
and a holy
I-
symbol.
Will need to be
And-
equipped.
I hold up the holy symbol of Normac, which just looks like a hammer with a dragon's head.
Is it
Well-
cracked?
Mm-hmm.
Nope, oh, it's cracked.
Right.
I
Cyrus.
put that away.
She gestures and like heads out towards the hall, and then she looks back at Mouth and Fenrir. Feel free to discuss, but when I get back in here, I will need your full attentions.
All right. So what other gear do you have for slaying them?
All
Start
right.
pulling out wooden
And then
stakes
she heads out into the hall.
and
And then she
mirrors.
moves farther down the hall than Cyrus and Malthor did to ensure privacy, since Cyrus seems adamant about it.
Okay.
So
Yes,
yeah, Cyrus will
Cyrus?
go into the vision of the what Zaya had said was herself in the silver armor and on the eve of battle. Um, basically sharing every um, well, premonition. Lost the word for a second. That she shared with him, and I think there was one or so in there that might not have been
One
shared with you.
she didn't, and I know
Yeah.
which one it is.
Yep. But since you
So
know them, you
yeah.
now have the information as a character.
So my cousin, she had the ability to see into the future, huh? I suppose that would make sense. This God War vision you speak of, her latest, it intrigues me. I was just informed by Gaul that we found an older document that one of my ancestors signed with an alliance with the High Elves and the Dwarves, both of which you say you see joining us in this battle, this army against Silpip. That must be a sign we need to ensure that alliance stays together. You were in the Yuan-Ti lands briefly before you arrived here, and Saya
Yes.
met her demise, were you not? I've been informed this alliance also spreads the Yuan-Ti, and I believe they'd be useful in handling these tabaxi. I wonder what you think of them. You ran into them in their tunnels.
They, I mean, we weren't there long, and we seemed to get dumped into the middle of a bunch of them. So, I mean, they were fierce fighters. They seemed to have, from what I saw, more troops that were there that were archers. But that might have just been what we happened to get dumped into.
Archers would be
They also
useful.
had other creatures that I'm not as familiar with. There was some sort of a fox humanoid type creature and some other things, but
So they are powerful then, when it comes to
they
combat.
seem to be, yes.
Then I think we should make a note. Thank you for sharing this information, Cyrus.
Yes.
I'm glad you seem to be getting better. If that's the right word you can use in a situation like this.
I have a direction to move now to,
Motivation.
yes.
It'll be key. I think we should join the others. I'm sure Malthor and Fenrir are lecturing about vampiric hunting tactics. Come, we have business to attend to. And she'll start heading back to the room and make an obvious sort of noise when she opens the door and enters to let Malthor and Fenrir know that she is back.
When you enter, you see Fenrir with just hanging from his whip from the ceiling, showing a technique that he has learned with one of his fighting
Malthor's
styles.
just standing there nodding in approval. There's a chest sitting by him that he had brought up with him that is just filled with stakes, mirrors, metal bits, rope. Not bad, not bad.
I'm glad you are prepared, but I am afraid there are other things we must speak of now.
Agreed.
Fenrir gives a flick, the whip unravels, and he comes down to the ground.
Okay.
Malthor, Cyrus, you two, do you know anything of these Grim Legacy people I've heard of?
Malthor instantly tightens.
I
His
am
eyes
aware of the hostility, but it is important information. They
There's
might
only
be
one member
of
I
use.
ever paid attention to, and it's the one that I hunt. And it's the one that, from what I've heard with rumors, is the only one that might still be alive. I don't know. And that's Zilpip.
Yes.
Saya, Captain, and myself. Well, at the time, Saya and I thought that it was just Saya and myself that's barely survived an encounter with them in the previous capital that's now in ruins.
By
We
the way,
later
I've always
found
meant
that.
to ask about that.
Yeah, we later found that Captain along the way as we were coming here.
My
They seem to
question
be
is,
very
how did you
powerful.
survive a meeting with Zilpip? Normally, if you want someone dead, they're gone.
Well,
I've heard rumors of what happened at the Capitol, if this is what I'm thinking of. And she kind of glanced at Cyrus.
uh, previous person that I only knew for
Venzorowin.
a day or so. He helped sacrifice, or I guess not helped. He sacrificed himself to help us, and I don't know what it was, but there seemed to be massive damage raining from the sky in some kind that just obliterated them at least enough that they must have retreated. And Zai and myself
He was a worshipper of
got
the god
away.
of destruction.
Yeah, I
The
don't
old
know what
ones.
it was.
Well,
Did
those ones.
Tikva hear of what happened at the Capitol, assuming Gall told her
Nope.
since he went down there? Nope.
Well, given what I've been told, I can give you a rough estimation of what happened. Most clerics, priests, and paladins that follow that god have a special spell, we'll call it. It allows them to detonate themselves like a bomb.
Hmm.
The moment they are about to die, their body will explode with the force enough to take out probably around a large dragon.
And that still did not kill any one of these members you speak of?
Oh, it
that-
probably left them scarred because it does have after effects that can be very strange.
Right. Well, I been thinking of ways to, of course, get the Tieflands together. We cannot do much in this war against the Trasts, the gods, anything, if we don't get more troops and more power and can conquest. You know, I'm not sure your thoughts on the matter, Malthor or Cyrus, but it's a necessity, trust me. We need to, we think, take power from Tenem. We have, apparently, from my cousin Aaron, she has a claim to the throne there, but taking on Tenem is not an easy task. Gaul has suggested if we can free Stiknesh and these Grim Legacy members from their golden prison in the Dragonborn lands, they may aid us not just in taking the throne at Dragon's Gate, but in the wars to come. You say they were powerful enough to survive that. If we could get them on our side, I would have to agree they would be great allies. But how trusting do you think they are as allies? At least the Snicknesh one in particular.
Question DM. I don't remember which one we were sent after to try to kill. Was
Snicknesh.
way
Snicknesh.
back then.
The
Snicknesh.
Dragonborn. Trans
'Kay.
character.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I couldn't
Barbarian. Yep.
remember. Well, we did have a brief reprieve from one of the dragons there that he allowed us to live prior to this encounter. If we went after the Snicknesh,
Hmm.
it was in that process that we encountered what seemed like the entire Grim Legacy group, and we barely survived at that point. But they are much more experienced than we were then, and we have gained experience since then. So I don't know if we're as powerful as they are. I would guess probably not yet.
But at the very least, this Snicknesh guy, does he seem like if he's loyal to someone, he will stay so? What I worry about is being turned on by these members, especially if they choose to go back to aiding Zilpip. You said in the vision he was leading the army we fought, I think that speaks enough. He's not someone we can rely on.
I agree with at least in that manner. For the rest of the group members, I don't have any knowledge on whether they would be
We
safe
also
or
did
trustworthy.
hear about the Sneknesh when we were in the Elven City. He was a leader of something, or one of his children was.
Hmm. I didn't hear of
Yes.
any children of his.
Well, they work with the Sea Elves, so they probably would not be the
Mm.
best to try and go
No.
to.
The Sea Elves, though, would be useful for their technology, although, from what I understand, an alliance might be hard to get after your interactions with them.
Captain coughs from the distance.
From the
They-
ether, we all hear just a spooky cough.
Yeah.
Captain, you lied your way into that shit. That's your fault.
Do you to know of anything of changelings I keep hearing of? Supposedly, our alliance formed however many years ago extends to
Air
them.
cough
I've
from
been
this-
told they were basically extinct. If there are people left, they're scattered nomads. I heard my cousin once traveled with one. Cyrus, you specifically seem like a man of books and study. Would you know anything of them?
The only thing I know of, as he's talking, he grabs his trident, not in a aggressive manner, just
Nope.
as in to show it.
Mm.
That apparently this trident was found in the Yuan-Ti lands, and apparently, what I gather was an ancestor of mine
Mm.
had assisted the changelings. Beyond that,
But
I do not know
are
much of them.
from the New World, and yet your ancestors have their roots back here in ours. Interesting.
It's new information to me, and I have not been able to find out more along those lines yet, but that was what was told to me.
Got it.
And
Then
this does seem to be an ancestral item, and he puts it back again.
we should look into it, but I suppose we can't do any of these things until we first handle the Nords and the stuff with your god, correct? As she looks over at Malthor.
Yes, as I will say this, the paladin that is causing some issues and might be the main damage to my god's power is
Hmm.
in the Nordic lands.
Wonderful. I suppose we'll have more foes than vampires to worry about. Do you know where Aaron is? I was told she owed servitude to my cousin and thus now me. She would be a great ally in battle. I just don't know where she is.
I haven't seen her, and I've been down. I haven't really left the forge area. Malthor
Cyrus?
is looking a bit more colored, but is still not looking healthy.
The last, I believe that was who Zaya and I
Yep,
bought
that was who you two
or picked
purchased.
up. No, I
Purchased.
know. He knows that. Last I knew that she was being sent to our airship
The ship.
when we got
You-
transported to the Tabaxi lands, or not to the Tabaxi lands, when we got teleported to the Yuan-Ti lands.
And do you have this ship on hand anywhere? I believe I saw it crash not too long ago.
Yes, I believe Cyrus actually has it. The item.
The airship
Oh.
didn't crash. Captain made it shrink.
Yeah.
Tikva doesn't know that.
He reaches into his pocket and pulls out the little airship keychain.
You say she's on there potentially?
I assume that she was not on there when it shrank. Otherwise, we may have other issues. but this is
Does
the
she
airship.
count as cargo?
I mean, wait, would a human count as cargo?
Hey, Ron.
According to Captain Jack Sparrow, people aren't cargos, mate.
According to the captain, okay, captain said she was cargo, so she shrunk.
According to
Safe
Europe,
and sound.
people did count as cargo at one point.
That actually is a good question. Do we know of?
Wait. Would she
Her
be in a cage, or
being
would she
here?
have been in the extra dimensional space, a room of her own, too? There's another question. Where the fuck would she have been stored?
I guess you'll find out one day.
Just the
I'm gonna look at
corpse on the
Cyrus and be
ship.
like, "Get the ship out now. We need to check it for her."
I think that might be a good idea. He starts going outside to
Yeah,
find
Tix
spot
was
that he
gonna
can
follow, looking a little worried.
Follow-
he can bamf it out and
Okay.
board it.
All right, how are you gonna
As he
activate
holds it
it?
out, I say, "Gall."
Ah,
Yeah.
all right. As you shout "Gall," you hear "What?" as the ship expands out.
Not you, dear.
Nothing. You're just the password for Captain's ship. He loved you that much.
Oh, I'm gonna miss that man.
You could always try and resurrect his ass.
I'm good.
I love how Captain's muted.
I think climb up onto the ship and start searching
Yeah.
it for a human.
All right. As you guys
Large,
start
yeah.
crawling aboard, you find that there's no cargo in the ship.
Yeah, I expected that. Being
Captain
out of
heard it.
You-
character.
Said, where did you purchase her from? Perhaps we can contact the
That was
seller.
in.
Get that arranged. Yeah, because
Yeah,
I'm
it was,
assuming did Tikva told it was
Malthor
Zaris? I don't
actually
think so.
puts his hand in his face and says, "They bought her from a dwarf that was in the Tabaxi lands." And if
Just-
Cyrus looks at him questioningly, and Malthor will be like, "My blink dog told me. You guys stayed within a mile."
Inform
that's
me
good to
what
know.
this. What? Oh yeah, I'm sure
Um,
Cyrus starts to think a little more about what happened. Touches the paw mark on his face. Describe this dwarf. I don't know of too many dwarven
said his
merchants in
name
the
was-
Tabaxi land.
He was related to Tenex, I believe.
Tenix. Zaris. Zaris. Oh, Zaris is allied with us. He's backing us, the Black Talon Merchant Guild. I'm sure we could get in contact with him if need be. That should be no problem.
that was-
Assuming
that was-
communications are fine.
Him as he's looking at Malthor,
Yeah.
like shaking his head.
Like, how
Shut
much
up
do you
and
know?
And Malthor puts a hand on Cyrus's shoulder. "I know you were desperate, my friend." With a simple smile on his face.
Tikva's just watching, waiting to see what happens.
And also, he pats his cheek and says, I heard about that too."
Yeah, Cyrus had completely forgot about the paw print on his face.
Yep.
He's like, yeah, I need to deal with that at some point.
I
don't
think it's
even know
probably a
what
curse, and
it
I
is.
might be able to remove it later, but right now I don't think I have the power.
A risk of Dibus being able to track us, I do suggest we remove of it ASAP.
I will try and use 5 lay on hand points to see if
Malthor.
that'll end the effect.
It does not.
Malthor, if the need should arrive to cut it off, could you repair his face?
I heard cut it
would
off.
Probably be. There will
You're not
probably
there.
be scarring. Oh yes, he is. He
Yeah,
followed us. He was with-
everyone's
Oh,
out with
okay.
you
Right.
guys. Yep.
Oh, great.
I could, but
You-
there would definitely be scarring.
You, Kips, you're a doctor. If you had to remove the skin off someone's face, could you heal it back to new?
Let me find that out.
Opens
Right.
book, starts reading it. You get nervous as you
Cyrus,
see
that
lots of pictures.
It's just an option out in the air, if need be, to consider. I'm not sure how much you value your face.
I can also attempt to remove curse, just not currently today.
Why do we need to?
He's got a mark from the cat that killed Zaya, and if that mark allows him to track us, we will be in trouble.
Ah,
Yes.
How I wish I could metagame right now.
Don't do it.
I'm
Don't
not
do
Do
going.
it, Captain.
Don't
Do
do it.
it.
Who's
Hush
captain?
it, man.
Captain Int.
Captain.
It's Zarius, by the way.
Zarius? Okay, so it has the I in it.
Hmm
I always mix up because it's so close to Zaya's brother.
Could I regrow skin with cure wounds, DM?
Theoretically,
Theoretically.
yeah, it's possible. I mean, you're not gonna be able to
And if
regrow
I'm
someone's
helping-
arm, but you'd be like, if it's something like that, yeah.
And if I'm helping alongside him with healing
Oh, I mean,
magic, probably.
it's yeah. You can probably grow, or you can grow back skin. You're not. You just won't be able to grow back muscle or bone.
So I just
So
have to
don't
have
cut
surgical
too deep.
precision.
Hmm
Yep.
DM,
Just-
how good is my surgical precision?
You can roll a medicine check for that.
I will assist
I have
this.
I have proficiency in
I got a
herbalism
24.
kit, if that helps.
I got a 24.
All right, as you just grab
No, wait.
Cyrus's face and start slicing.
Oh my god.
Cyrus, are you gonna do anything?
Oh, I'll let him do it.
Taking out your small scalpel with a knife, you just start
Oh, you
cutting.
need to schedule
digging
an
in.
appointment.
Yeah, before I do this, I'm gonna open my lab, and then
Mhm.
I'm gonna start asking them if they can bring me some alcohol here too.
Stop.
Bring me some
I
alcohol, some
grab
bandages.
Fenrir's
whatnot.
flask.
As you start cutting,
Take
um,
Bubble, go get it.
grabbing Fenrir's flask, there's nothing in it. Tearing
it
the
back
s-
to
or
him
cutting
sadly.
the skin off. It hurts. You take 2 points of damage, Cyrus, as he tears the skin off your face. In this massive paw print, and as you look at it, Kips, you still see the paw print.
I knew that was gonna happen.
Oh my,
It's
that's an
deeper.
issue. How deep is
Mm.
it?
You're not sure.
It's gonna
I
stay.
mean, the most of the cheek is just skin and light tissue. It's
Yes,
not
ma'am.
much of its muscle.
Oh my god.
Just,
Oh
no,
god.
it'll go to his skull. Just heal him. Just heal him.
So yeah, the issue here. Well, I mean, he is right actually. Though there isn't much much tissue
Muscle.
on the face. There are small patches on the cheeks and whatnot for moving around your actual face, but and showing like emotions and whatnot.
It's just gonna
It
keep
really depends on.
burying deeper to the center of his fucking skull.
Well, no.
Don't worry about it.
Well, no.
Well,
If it's
let's
on the
just
cheek, it
remove
has
the
to go
skull.
through. It either goes through the cheek or it goes through.
Let's
Or it's
just
on the jawline.
remove the skull.
Where is the paw print exactly placed? Is it
It's
close to the
Just not
jawline,
kill
No,
or is
Cyrus.
it more over the?
It's
more
on
over
his
the
cheek.
mouth?
Yeah, it's directly on
Okay.
his cheek.
Listen,
Joke
let's just
suggestion.
remove the skull. Come on, guys.
Please, just heal him back up. I said it was a
Malfoy puts
last
hand
case
over the cheek
scenario.
and uses 5 more healing. 5 more. Actually, no. I use healing hand. He uses his healing hands to restore 10 HP. And
Okay.
probably heal him up.
All right, Cyrus,
Does
you
that
heal
heal
10
him up?
HP. Your cheek regrows,
Well,
and the paw
Uh,
print is still there.
it appears it was not
On the
that
surface
easy.
again.
Yep.
It
I-
seems this might be a tomorrow issue.
Yes. Kips, as a heads up, usually when doing surgery, patients would like time to prepare.
Oh, I always tell, people under me to do that. I never take my own advice, though.
Right.
Yes.
Noted.
I'm gonna shave the freaking Fearbulg in his sleep.
Tikva kind of leans over to Cyrus, just making sure his face is actually okay, and kind of gives him an apologetic glance, and then leans away and is like, "Well, we don't know where Aeon is. I can see about sending a letter towards Zarius and getting that figured out. But the Nordlands, Cyrus, you have a way to teleport us all there?
Yes, I could do it.
I-
Today if need be, or
I
Or we
think
can
we should
prepare someone to
wait.
leave.
I'm still a little battered and bruised from the rat incident, and I have that letter to send
should-
out.
All
Rats are pretty
rest. This will
good.
give me a chance to do something to summon a new thing to carry the chest run that I left back in the room we first met in.
Right. Kips, did you find a good inn to stay in, or do I need to make sure a room can be arranged for you at a good inn.
Oh no, trust me, I'll be fine. And I just go into my lab and lock the door.
And it disappears.
Okay.
And
I
once
will
we,
probably sleep on the ship
Tickfa looks
tonight
a little
if we can
relieved.
leave it here.
Okay, Cyrus.
oh, I was gonna say if we all got off the ship, he would shrink it back down again. But if Malthor's staying on the ship, he
Let's
Malthor's
see if
asking
cargo.
about it.
Let's see if people count as cargo. Shrink the ship.
Don't, please.
Do it.
Malthor will get off the ship.
The queen
Keep
orders
on
it.
cargo, mate.
He's off. Then
Well, what does
Cyrus says
Gaul
Gaul.
say?
Gaul is nowhere nearby.
Yeah,
It's a
once-
I'm in
Malthor
charge
shouts
now.
Gaul as he
Keyword
jumps
Gaul.
off and lands
Yeah.
after he gets off.
All right.
Cyrus will say Gaul and shrink it back down and put it back in his pocket.
Okay.
And while outside, Malthor will start using the Find Steed spell to try to either summon an Assault Drake or or Chester again, since he was a spirit, he can technically come back already.
Give me a D4 roll.
Oh boy, that's always good.
4.
You get a new blink dog.
Oh.
I look at him, I pat its head, and I mentally tell it, if you knew Chester, I didn't want him to die.
And that goes silent. As the party retires for the evening,
I tie the chest to the
getting
I will. Oh,
yes.
I just wanted Tickfa to write a letter asking Zarius about the cargo order that Cyrus had and where it might be. You know, not saying what it is, sort of
Okay.
keeping that secret and vague, and then have that asked by servant mailed to wherever a base she is. She assumes she knows of a place to mail stuff to Zarius.
She does not.
Oh, well then she'll just ask, I guess, if they can have that arranged to a servant and deal with that later.
Okay. As the party gets their full night's rest, getting a long rest now, so that way everyone is fully healed up. As you guys gather in the throne room where Cyrus has been preparing a ritual teleportation spell, the lights go flashing as the group gathers up, and the circle lights up, and you find
I'm holding
yourselves
Chester.
in what looks to be another dungeon with what looks to be humans that you can only describe as plague victims, as many of them have strange black warts. Many screams can be heard. Blood is oozing all over the floor. The dungeon itself is
I-
made of loose brick with moss growing everywhere. Rusty chains can be heard clamoring. And that is where the DM will end today's session. Thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. I will see you next time.
Whoop.